team to beat South Point, who runs a similar type offense, is Ashbrook.
And they did it twice.
Right.
So once is hard enough.
Like you say, we always say it's kind of tough to simulate this kind of offense in practice. Well, they must have done something to get ready for South Point. And like I say, the only team that beat them, and they beat them twice to advance to this round. And I bet you they're super excited, as we are, as the North Lincoln Knights are as well, because they're looking to go further that they've ever gone in the playoffs.
Yeah, they went 3 rounds, I think, way back. It might have been when Matt Beam was the head coach here. I don't recall. It's been a long time. They went through some cycles with coaches that didn't turn out so well. But they've really got it together with Coach Basel here. I mean, he's done a great job in 7 years. He's got a record of 56 and 23. That's an impressive. You're averaging 8-3 every year. That's getting it done. So the game tonight is brought to you by our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton, and this is the Stadium Pregame Show, and that's brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell. So again, we've got 2 teams coming in here that are on a roll. Ashbrook's won several games in a row. North Lincoln has won 7 in a row. The only game they dropped this year was Hickory. And not to look ahead, but there's a possibility they could play Hickory in the next round. And wouldn't that be nice to try and get back at the team that
the only team that beat them this year, and the team that got them last year in the second round of the playoffs.
Second round of the playoffs. So, yeah, we'd be heading back up to Hickory again if that were the case. But Crest might have something to say about that. That's the matchup on this side of the bracket in the 3A West. The winner of this game will play the winner of Crest Hickory. That game just kicked off. That was a 7 o'clock start up in Hickory. About half the games tonight in the state are 7 o'clock, about half are 7:30s. So we'll have some scores for you as they come in, and some games will be along a little further than others. This game might catch up to some of the other ones because both teams run the ball, especially North Lincoln we know will run the ball. Ashbrook's a little more balanced, and we'll see how fast this game goes. It could be. We thought last week was going to be really quick, but it didn't turn out to be that way. If it had been South Point and North Lincoln, it probably would have been an hour-long game, and that would have been about it.
You're right. 4 possessions each, and then that's about it.
Yeah, you called it last week. I was like, that'd be the Army-Navy game. I think exactly what it would be. So let's take a look at some of the stats for the teams this year. We're going to let Scott take Ashbrook because he's got a bit of a relationship with somebody on Ashbrook. Who might that be?
That would be Coach Darius James. When I started in North Carolina, I was 2 years in South Carolina. I didn't really coach anything but basketball, but when I did come up to North Carolina, my first school was Ashbrook, and had the chance to coach. I could say with him. I think I was a JV coach. He was on varsity, but of course on Friday nights I would help do what I can, and dubious honor of taking him to the hospital.
Yeah, I heard this story on the way back from West Henderson last week. It's hilarious.
Yeah, got to ride in the back of the ambulance and sit in the waiting room over at Gaston Memorial, and thank God everything was okay. I think it was just one of those major sprains, but of course they wanted to double check, make sure everything worked out. So I got to know him rather well.
3 hours worth.
Yes, sitting there, and great character. Like I said, he did a great job when he was a player, and he's obviously doing a fantastic job here at South Point. They come in, as we mentioned, 10-2, 5-2 in the conference. But again, the only team that's been able to kind of handle that flex red bone, whatever South Point calls it, and did it twice to advance to this week's matchup. They beat them 31-28 last week, and quarterback A.J. McClain pretty much was almost like a one-man wrecking crew. And I had him down for 65% of their offense.
Ooh.
I mean, he 7-10 passing, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then ran for 146 yards and a touchdown last week. And so, like I say, he was the one that was able to propel them through. And as you mentioned, their running game is fantastic. Martino Smith last week ran for 122 yards and a touchdown against South Point, and then number 12, I didn't get his first name down, but Montgomery for
Saren Montgomery.
Okay, Saren Montgomery had 72 yards and a touchdown through the air. So, as you mentioned, they're a little bit more balanced. That's something that North Lincoln has seen before. Lots of times with East Lincoln and Hickory, of course, being in the conference. So, like I say, we'll see how they fare tonight against this very, very speedy Ashbrook offense.
Speaking of Hickory, they have taken, someone has the game here on their phone on the NFHS, so we're watching it, and they said Hickory just threw a long touchdown pass, 70-yard touchdown pass. They're up 7-0 on Crest. And they've played all of 56 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, Hickory's never been one to score quickly or anything, but yeah, there they go. Yeah, so taking a look at some other players, who are some other key players to watch, and that's always brought to you by Key Builders of Lincolnton. Who are some of the other ones you mentioned a couple. Anybody else jump out at you?
Yeah, we got, and of course, another running back, J.J. Gordon. He's got 5 touchdowns, not very many yards, 156 yards, and then another running back, Savion Lindsay, 453 yards and 5 touchdowns. So they've done a pretty good job on the ground getting some touchdowns. I think I have them down for about 21 rushing touchdowns, somewhere in that vicinity. And then, of course, on the defensive side, they've got number 5, Caleb Gordon, who's averaging 10 tackles a game, number 77, James Proctor, averaging 6.5 tackles a game, and then Emmett Henderson, 4.2 tackles a game. But I think one of the things that stands out, again, Ashbrook's won 3 in a row, but points for, 334-yard points for, and 150 against in 12 games.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was looking at. They're giving up less than, let's see, they're giving up 12.5 points a game because they've played 12 games. So what we might think, if we're trying to relate it to something in Lincoln County, is maybe that defense they had over at East Lincoln 2 years ago, where they went 16 games and gave up 165 points, which is just totally ridiculous. But that's what they've done. If you look at their scores this year, only 2 teams. I think South Point, one of them last week, and then the game they lost to Crest, I think it was. Those are the only games they gave up more than 25 points.
Right.
They play in a lot of low-scoring games. They don't want to get in a track. Well, they might want to get in a track meet if they get the right people out there.
Yeah.
But North Lincoln is going to run up and down the field if they get things going. So that's not the way they operate. They just hold you down, score enough to win.
Right. And it's going to be interesting. I know you're getting ready to talk about North Lincoln, but like I say, in 2 games, North Lincoln's almost scored 100 points. So, like I say, you're talking about strength on strength, and we'll see exactly how that works out on a nice, cool night, shall we say, here in Pumpkin Center.
And the one thing I noticed looking at their stats for the season, they've recovered 9 fumbles, picked off 15 passes. Well, they won't need to worry about that too much with North Lincoln. Unless North gets behind, then they might put it in the air. But they've only turned it over 6 times this season. Their turnover margin is plus 18. You just don't see that.
No,
they don't beat themselves. Now, if you look at North Lincoln, the one game they lost this year, they're playing Hickory, and number 2, they beat themselves.
Exactly.
6 turnovers, 6 fumbles, 4 loss, 2 interceptions. You can't do that against the defending state champions and expect to do well. So I know they're not looking ahead, but they'd love to get another shot at Hickory.
Absolutely.
So let's bring our better game. Let's see how we stack up. Because they stayed with them pretty good for most of the game last year in the playoffs.
And even in that game, I think they almost had more yards than Hickory. Problem was Hickory had the short field because North Lincoln kept giving them the ball.
Right.
And that's one thing that North Lincoln has not done in the 2 games in the playoffs. Like you say, they have had no turnovers.
One fumble, but they got it back.
One time and went right to them. So they're definitely on a roll, taking care of the ball.
So taking a look at some of the key players and stats to look at for North Lincoln, we've got an 11-1 record, 6-1 in conference. We said their only loss was to Hickory, 60-25. So they've scored 487 points, given up 282. Of course, the offense is directed by Eli Sipe. Doesn't have big passing numbers, but when they do, they hit big. 24 of 48, 528 yards, so they're averaging 22 yards per completion. Aaron Doden is the leading receiver, 8 for 151. Landon Agee, 3 for 144. So he's got an average of 48 per reception. And no one else over 100, but there's just some gaudy averages. I think I forget who the one player was. 1 catch for 62 yards. It's just, you don't, you start crowding the box, they start crowding the box. It's like, wait, and then they unload on it. And boom, boom, out go the lights. And Crest has just scored a touchdown, and they missed the extra point, so it's going to be 7-6. Kicking does make a difference in the high school level, coaches. So then rushing-wise, that's the bread and butter for North Lincoln. Shannon Wingate, 230 carries, 1,848 yards, 29 touchdowns. I think he's got more touchdowns than Ashbrook.
Yes.
It was like, that's just ridiculous. Then you throw in Landon Agee, 886 yards, 14 touchdowns. I mean, they've got 59 touchdowns rushing this year. That's good. That's 2 good seasons for some teams. Just they're getting it all together. And then defensively, Cade Sturgill with 113 tackles, 14.5 for loss. One thing we've seen with North Lincoln in the 3 games we've done, they aren't afraid to shoot somebody in there and try and bring you down in the backfield, and they do it well. Whether it's Bassani, whether it's Sturgill, whether it's Brady Rinkus, Tim Folk, you just don't know which one of them's coming.
Exactly.
You're looking out at the play. There's just 4 of them lined up there, and it's like, well, which one's coming? Which 2 are coming? Sometimes 3. They do a real good job. Paul Regan, I believe, is the defensive coordinator, and he really mixes it up quite well. And then special teams. If there's a team in the playoffs that's going to win with special teams, it's North Lincoln. Tanner Ayers is averaging 39 per punt. Jake Dillingham, 41 of 44 PAT, 5 of 6 field goals, hit his long last week at 45, did it 3 times because the West Hendrickson coach was throwing a bit of a fit and using all his timeouts, and Jake just kept banging them through. And the one he put through, the last one, was actually the best one, and it was probably good from 57, 58 yards. He just pounded that thing through. And then he's the weapon on kickoffs, and we've talked about that. He's got almost a 70% average at touchback, so they're starting at the 20-yard line all the time. So those are some of the things to look at. They've got 4,064 yards rushing and 528 passing, so not exactly balanced, but that's not what they do. Right. So those are some of the things we're looking at. Those are some of the key players to watch, brought to you by Key Builders of Lincolnton. We'll be back with more of the Stadium Pregame Show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports, and our interview with Coach Nick Basel. After this timeout, you're listening to high school football on KTC Broadcasting and WCSL Cherryville 92.9 FM.
For over 60 years, Honda Motorcycles of Shelby has been serving this area, and they continue to do so today. Right now, you'll find a good inventory of dirt bikes, plus 150 and up to 450 models of on- and off-road bikes. See the new 2024 Honda Rebel, along with 4x4 ATVs and side-by-sides, including the Pioneer and the Talon, plus gold wings and trikes. And don't forget about their parts and service department. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at HondaMotorcyclesofShelby.com. Tarzan says it's the biggest tree cutting special he's ever seen from J. Douglas Tree Service. Why it's so big, it's driving cheetah bananas. Now, for a limited time from J. Douglas Tree Service, all current customers can take 10% off. But that's not all. New customers get 20% off. Trim it up, cut it down, and they also do stump grinding. And they've just recently added a 75-foot bucket truck. Call 704-689-9459. Again, 704-689-9459 for a free estimate. That's J. Douglas Tree Service.
And now joining us on the Stadium Pregame Show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell, is the coach of the North Lincoln Knights, Coach Nick Basel. Thanks for joining us yet again.
Well, you better call, because we got a stroke of luck going here, and we don't want to mess it up.
Now, we wouldn't want to do that. Karma is a big thing. We want to keep things on a good roll here. So, speaking of good rolls, your team, the last 2 games in the playoffs, have gotten off to 2 very quick starts. That's always got to make things easier to come out of the gate like they have.
Yeah, it's definitely been a momentum changer for us the last 2 games. they say things happen in threes, so I'd kind of like to see that happen again this week because we're going to need a little help this week. This team we're playing is a little different than what we've seen the first two. So any kind of luck early to get a jump start on them would definitely help us.
A quick start. You got the big kickoff return, 80 yards by Tim Folk, or was it Landon Agee? I'm sorry, I'm losing. I lost track. It was Landon.
It was Landon. Yep.
Tim had the longer one in the second later in the game. That's what it was.
Right.
And you get the touchdown, but then West Henderson goes right down the field. They've got a nice drive going, and tell us what happened there right on 4th and 1.
Well, we got some penetration, and the thing is when you're a shotgun team and you're down inside the 5-yard line and you're making it easier on the defense, in my opinion, because any kind of penetration can get you a loss of yardage. So Brady Rinkus and a linebacker, I think it might have been Cade, got through there and hit the guy. I forget his name, but his number was number 10. And one of the things that we had found out through watching some film is he was prone to fumble, and so they just popped him at the right place at the right time, and that ball squirted out right in Tanner's hands, and Tanner picks it up and takes off down the field, and our kids turn into offense immediately, and they start taking off, and Doden makes a great block, in my opinion, and everybody else's that was on our sidelines and in their stands for sure. But it's just a hustle play on his part and got between the two. When the guy was getting ready to grab Tanner from the back, and when he gets between them, he makes a heck of a block, and some kind of, I don't know if the official had a bad angle or whatever it was, but we got a block in the back called. I still don't, we never saw it on film. So, but anyway, we got the ball back anyway after that happened, and we turned it into points. So either way, it was good, but I sure would like to see Tanner get credit for that one because it was a dang hustle play on his part.
Yeah, so you're up. What would have been a 7-7 game at that point. Now it's 13-0, and then off you went. I mean, just blew this game open in no time at all.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Dave. I never saw that coming. I'd seen Wes Henderson play last year against Hickory, and I think it was in the semifinals in the regionals. And of course, they had a couple more players last year that graduated that were really good, but they also had a lot coming back. So I was pretty nervous about how we were going to fare against those guys because they're a good football team, and they still are. But I think the start that we got, and then and we only punted the ball one time, so just keeping the ball on offense and eating the clock up and keeping the chains moving. Our offensive line, you got to give them guys credit for that. Grant Mullen and Iggy and Cheese, our center, and Luke Jones and Ross Jackson. He's our sophomore that came up after Owen got hurt. Those guys did a heck of a job all night long of moving the line of scrimmage. And, anytime you can, I've always said it all year long, anytime you can win a line of scrimmage, you're going to have a chance to win. And that's what we always challenge our up front guys to do. And then we got some hard running, good blocking from our A-backs. Eli did a heck of a job of executing. So, our receivers, Aaron Doden, he was blocking like crazy, and Jake DeSantos was doing the same thing. So it was, I've said this a million times before, Dave, our kids are very unselfish, and they are concerned more about wins than they are anything else. So basically, we played that game. We threw, I think, maybe 2 or 3 passes and completed one of them. And so, instead of having 5 offensive linemen out there, you might as well count our split ends because So we blocked with 7 people all night long, and then they did the job we needed to do, and got us on the board early and kept the thing rolling. And boy, once it just started steamrolling, I think we just got momentum. And when that momentum monster gets on your back, it's hard to get him off. And so that just turned into a really good night for us. But things are getting ready to change because when you get to round 3, that's winning that way is very hard to do. And all you want to do is win, and you don't care if it's by 1 or 51. You just want to get the W.
Well, this week you do have Ashbrook, and Ashbrook's coming off one of their best seasons in a long time. I think they've had 1 winning season since 2013, and they're 10-2 now. Another spread offense, but this one doesn't seem to have the explosiveness that maybe an East Lincoln or a Hickory does, but what Ashbrook relies on, this is a stout defense that they're bringing in to your stadium. They don't give up a lot of points.
No, they don't, and they've also not shut them out, but beat South Point twice. And we are about as similar as anybody in Western North Carolina. Not too many of us do schools in this area, or it's in the state, or even for the whole state, for that matter, runs what we run. And so Ashbrook found a way to beat those guys 2 times, and I have a mad respect for South Point, Coach Hodge and his staff over there. It's a tradition over there to be in the flex bone. They even, permit themselves as the red bone, and they've been running that offense since I played in high school, and it's just one of those. It's just like the academies. That's their MO, and anytime you say South Point, the first thing you think of is triple option. And so for them to be beat twice in 1 year by the same team is not common for them, and not common for a lot of people, for most people, but especially not for them. So they do have a tough defense. They're big. They're not just big, but big and quick, strong and aggressive, very fast in the secondary, so they get to things really quick. It's going to probably be the biggest challenge for us offensively that we've had all year long. I know Hickory was a really good defense too, but Hickory didn't have the size these guys have, and so our little ones that's had to block these giants all year long is going. At least they've had some reps at it. So if they'll just continue to do what they've done and stay after it all night long, it's not going to be easy, but hopefully we can figure out a way to get it done. But I'll tell you this, Dave, and let's say, they say they're not very explosive offensively. Maybe not in some of the games that they hadn't had high scores, but they beat some people bad in during the season. And I'll tell you, this quarterback, you'll see. Okay, if you're going to be at the game broadcasting this thing, you're going to see him. This kid can go. And he is a better runner than he is anything. He can throw the ball well, but he doesn't. A lot of times when he gets back there, if there's nothing open, he will just make something out of nothing, and he'll make you look silly because he's got such good feet and he runs hard. To have a kid like that at quarterback, I love our quarterbacks to death. I think Eli does one heck of a job. But if you were running a triple option, that's the kind of quarterback that they have over there is what you look for first. And, somebody that can just really make you look silly and be hard to get on the ground. So he's in that spread back there with those guys, and they've even got a little bit of option. They run out the gun, and he's good at it. So, our defense is going to have to really stiffen up this week. At the receivers and the skill guys they got out there can outrun anything we got. We don't have anybody on our team that can outrun those skill guys. So, it's just like I said, when you get here, there's no more easy ones. They all get tough. And so we're going to have to play near perfect to beat them. We can't turn the ball over. we're going to have to win the kicking game, and we can't make mental errors. And, jumping off sides and doing dumb stuff like that. We're going to have to play a very, very clean game in order to beat them and have a little luck on our side. But I got faith in our guys. I know they're going to play hard. And honestly, I tell you the same thing I told them today. I think they've had the best week practice this week than we've had in 2024. And maybe it's because they've got something to prove. But, I think this is the fourth team maybe in school history to make it to round 3, and no team's ever made it out. So we've challenged them this year, if you want to go down in history as the best football team that's ever come through North Lincoln High School. You win this one because nobody's ever been this far. So I think that's a little bit of incentive for them this week.
Well, Coach, we thank you for joining us on the Stadium Pregame Show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell. And we're looking forward to the opening kickoff coming up in a few minutes. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dave. We'll see you at North Lincoln Knight Stadium on Friday.
River Equipment Company in Shelby, the area's John Deere dealer. Now, when you purchase a John Deere compact tractor and loader, you'll get pallet forks for only $1. That's right, $1. Plus, get 0% financing for 60 months. But hurry, the offer ends soon at James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Highway 180 North in Shelby. Online at jamesriverequipment.com.
Get on your feet.
And we thank Coach Basel for joining us on the Stadium Pregame Show.
Let's go.
The anthem has been done. The coin has been flipped. And we know that Crest just punched out the football from Hickory, recovered it, and they have driven down and scored. It is now 12-7. They have not updated here. We're watching it on. Looks like they're getting ready for the conversion here, but it's 12-7. They've scored again, so they lead Hickory. And here, North Lincoln has just come on the field. Ashbrook's about to come on, and we're just about ready to go.
I believe that North Lincoln won the toss and deferred,
which means they want Jake to kick first. And we've seen this movie.
Yes.
I was wondering if that was going to be, but I mean, there's not as much wind. There was a little bit of a breeze up in West Henderson last week. I think this is even less, so it's really not going to affect the kicking game as far as which end of the field is going to be better to kick towards. I think it's going to be about the same. So we're about ready to go. The teams are now on the field, and we're getting ready to go. A couple other games in the area. Let's see. East Rutherford, who knocked out defending champion Reedsville last week, probably the biggest upset statewide. They're at Brevard, and Forest Hills at Salisbury. Then on this side of the bracket, West Oaks is at Monroe. Community School of Davidson's at Shelby. That's a game on WOHS. And let's see, is there anything else? I think that's it as far as ones close by in the area. But so far, 3 of the 4 defending champions from last year are still alive. Reedsville is the only one that's been eliminated. Hickory, Mount Airy, who's looking for their 3rd straight title, and Weddington are all still playing. In the 4A West, it's very Charlotte-centric. 5 of the 8 teams are Charlotte area teams. You still got Catholic, Huff, Mallard Creek, Mooresville, and Weddington all still playing. So there's a possibility next week you could have an all-Charlotte Final Four in the region. Wow. And then 1A, like I said, Mount Airy is playing Starmount. Corvian Community, which is out of Charlotte, is at Eastern Randolph. And the rest of the games are up in the mountains. Mountain Heritage and Murphy are hosting. Robbinsville got the joy of making the trip to Murphy. They probably left at 9 this morning. Yeah. This is a long way there. So we're about ready to go here. Jake Dillingham is getting ready to kick off. Back deep for, let's see, I'm trying to see what the number is. Fortunately, it's green numbers on white uniform.
Number 10, I believe.
Is that 10?
Yes.
Number 10. So that is Martino Smith, their big running back. And a short kick. Smith catches it, drops it at the 10-yard line, but he falls on it. So it'll be return of 7. He touched it at the 10, fell on the 17, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Ashbrook, and that actually worked out better than a touchback.
Yeah, like I say, it's going to be interesting to see what North Lincoln does here on the defensive side. Again, try to contain that quarterback, as we know is number 8. I think he goes by AJ. They got Anthony McLean. I think he goes by AJ McLean.
I thought I saw AJ on something as well. So we'll go with that. That's easy for us. So, again, they are a spread offense. We got 3 wide receivers to the left side of the formation, 1 to the top. And handoff will go up the middle. Handoff goes to Smith. He breaks a tackle, gets out across the 25-yard lines, finally pulled down at the 26. So Tim Folk will come up and make the first tackle of the game. But a good gain, almost 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, they'll sort of run that little read option, and again, McLean does a great job pulling it the way it looks. It's a big task tonight. They can keep him inside the pocket.
So again, same formation. Smith to the right of the quarterback. Handoff, again up the middle. And he surges forward enough, it'll be good enough for a Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
Pick up a first down and 10 for the Greenwave. Stop on the play by number 15, Kate Sturgill.
So Sturgill again, Sturgill with a tackle on that, but not before they get 3 yards and a first down. So
First down and 10 Greenwave from their own 30.
Yeah, Coach was a little concerned about the offensive line of Ashbrook, a little bit bigger sized, but he's always said all year that his lines have been undersized, but they do a fantastic job. So we'll see how they
their big thing
progress
is
tonight.
just stack up the linemen and let the linebackers row. See who comes through. Back to pass look, quick out into the flat. Catch is made by number 20. That's Zymir Carpenter. He gets out to the 39-yard line. Just a quick out pattern there.
Yeah, like I said, in pregame, it looked like McLean was doing his best. Nice little turn hitches from the receivers. More of a timing type pattern. Get the ball out quick, let them do their job. We'll see how that progresses tonight. But that was a great throw and catch for Ashbrook and a good catch for Ellington for North Lincoln.
Yeah, they gave him pretty good cushion, so there wasn't a hard completion, but they were trying to limit the yardage, and they got 9. Handoff, straight up the middle, not much there. In fact, he's going to be driven back. He's going to lose about 3 yards on the play. Nice job by Falk and company as they stuff him back to the 36-yard line. And that'll bring up the first third down of the game for Ashbrook.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it was a good job. They filled all gaps in the line there on that one, and it was a good job by Houston Summy to wrap him up, and Kate Sturgill will finish him off.
Back to pass, it's McLean. He's being blitzed. Throw is made, and it's too high. And the receiver is kind of lobbying for an interference call, but there is very, very incidental contact on that. So that will be time for a punt for Ashbrook as it's 4th and 4.
Yeah, good backside blitz there by Zach Hartwell, number 23 for North Lincoln. I don't know if McLean saw him, but it looked like he got that ball out a little quicker than he wanted to, and that kind of helped with the with that incompletion.
Yeah, and it was a little too high as well. I'm not sure that was catchable. So back to punt is number 50. He doesn't get much of a kickoff off the side of his foot, and it takes a North Lincoln bounce. Let it go, and they touch it down at the 44-yard line. So it is an 8-yard punt.
Well, we said,
and here we go. North Lincoln in great field position, which is what they try and do.
But one of the weapons, again, that we always said for North Lincoln was their special teams. And we couldn't find much on Ashbrook, so that tells you the difference between the two. And
didn't want to publicize it. So 9:01 to go in the first quarter, no score. North Lincoln coming to bat at the 43-yard line of Ashbrook. Handoff straight at the middle with Wingate, breaks a tackle. He's out and he gets across the 30, finally pulled down to the 25, but a gain of 19 on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one of the things I was trying to watch Ashbrook's defense, is sometimes they'll take their defensive tackles and plug the A gaps on either side of the center. They did that a little bit, and then they pretty much played a normal 4-3 type of defensive front with 3 linebackers. We'll see what their plan is tonight.
Well, we've seen North jump on teams quickly the last 2 weeks. They're trying to do it again. Wingate again up the middle, and he's going to have a good 5 yards on that carry. As North Lincoln says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep handing off to Shannon. Last week, North Davidson, they jumped on quick, and then last week, the 80-yard kickoff returned to the 6, and they score on the first play 14 seconds into the game. And they're trying to score quickly again tonight. Handoff. Nope. Sipe keeps it. Pitches. He's got AG out into the space. He's across the 10, the 5. Touchdown, North Lincoln. A 21-yard touchdown run. Nice pitch by Sipe to Landon Agee. And here we go. The Knights are on the board. It took 1 minute and 1 second on that possession.
Again, we know that Cypress does a great job running this option, and that was perfect. And look, 2 Ashbrook players actually ran into each other on the perimeter, and there was no way that they were catching them on that one. Great start. And again, this is 3 games in a row here in the playoffs that they jumped on their opponent quickly.
So that is an Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Lincolnton touchdown for the Knights. And now on to attempt the James River Equipment PAT is Jake Dillingham. Sipe with a hold. Kick is up, and it's pounded through. So with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it's North Lincoln 7, Ashbrook 0. We'll be back with more Lincoln County High School football after this.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines, and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their many floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Built upon us.
Back here at North Lincoln, again, the Knights jump out quickly. A touchdown on a 4-play, 44-yard drive. Took 1 minute, 1 second, and they're up 7-0. Again, another start exactly how you want to script it. Now, last week, Wes Henderson took the next one, drove it way down the field, and got big turnover. Really swung. It turned out to swing that game. It went from possible 7-7 to 13-0, and next thing you know, it was 37-7 at halftime. This time, Dillingham with a big kick, caught at the 4-yard line this time. Coming straight up, it's Smith coming straight up the middle. Looks like he's almost ready to break free, but he gets out to the 26-yard line. Summy with a tackle, and Ashbrook will get the ball back for their second possession. And they're going to put the ball at the 27-yard line.
Like I say, North Lincoln's got to stay on their toes. This is what they've been doing the whole time, but strangely enough, that's what Ashbrook has been doing. They've been getting down. They were down 14-0 last week to South Point. Were able to come back and pull that game out. So long way from the end.
Snapped, handoff, Smith straight up the middle. He gets out across the 31-yard line, out to about the 30. They're going to mark him at the 31-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 4 on that play. Oh, I forgot to put down the 21-yard run for Ashbrook on that last one. So gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd and 6. We got an update from Hickory. It's 19-7 Crest now. Quick out pattern. That looks like it's going to be an incompletion. He swung it sideways, but it did go a little bit forward. It went off the hands of number 1, Cameron Mayfield, one of their leading receivers. They're trying to do what kind of looked like a wide receiver screen kind of thing.
Yeah, trying to get that ball out quick, trying to get some of these athletes in space. And looked like he was just a little off there in McLean's. We'll see if he gets that back. But again, they've done a good job so far, at least keeping that quarterback inside the pocket.
So we've got 3rd and 6 after the incompletion. got 2 wide receivers to each side. They're going to see if they can test the North Lincoln secondary. Man in motion, cuts across the middle, pass is thrown over the middle, catch is made at the 50-yard line. Nice catch there by number 12, and that is Saren Montgomery. So he gets out to midfield. That's a gain of 19 and a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Green Wave.
Yeah, it looks like North Lincoln brought Tim Folk on a delayed blitz, but he got nowhere near the quarterback, and that was pretty much the spot that he vacated for Ashbrook to complete that pass, and a Turner Hauser Insurance first down at midfield.
Yeah, the throw was a little high, but it was where the receiver could get to it. There was decent coverage on the play. Just the receiver went up and got it. So, again, first down at midfield. Bassani comes in on the blitz. They come behind it, run away from him. The ball goes to, so it's McLean on the keeper this time. Bassani came racing in from the backside, but they went up the middle quickly. And it was just enough for another Turner Hauser Insurance first down as they get to the 40-yard line. Nose of the ball is right on it, and it'll be 1st and 10. So it's starting to look a bit like last week. The other team comes back after the first touchdown, driving down the field. Let's see what the result is of this drive, though. Low snap, gets back across the 50, and it's fumbled again. But this time he fell on it. He tried to pick it up. It squirted away, but it then came right back to McLean. But it's going to be a loss of good
16.
gracious, 16 on that play.
Yeah, like I said, McLean's been, he's only a sophomore. He's been a little bit shaky here to start a couple errant passes. And I think that was more of the center.
Yeah, that was a low snap.
That was on him.
That bounced back to him. So it'll be 2nd and 26 from their own 44-yard line. They've got to get all the way to the night 30. McLean's back to pass, throws. He's got a man downfield, and the receiver cut in. The ball went out, and so it falls harmlessly to the turf. Looks like he was open if he had thrown it as a slant kind of thing.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to run more of an inside sort of post pattern. And McLean thought he was going more up a streak off a fly pattern. But good pressure there from AG, and I think it was number 50. Is that Mullen? Yep, Grant Mullen.
Yep.
For North Lincoln, made him throw it again just a touch early.
Yeah, he's throwing it just a little bit earlier than I think he would like to, and we're seeing that. He's just overthrowing or throwing a little high, that sort of thing, but that's what you want to do. You get a young quarterback, get them out of their routine. So 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the field, 1 to the top. Smith in the backfield. McLean looks, throws, and it's intercepted. Landon Agee stepped in front of the intended receiver, number 12, Jaden Mazin, and picked that off. What a great play by Agee.
Like I say, the one thing that Ashbrook's been trying to do is get these receivers a little bit more on the inside, but that time it didn't fool AG, and he jumped that pattern. And a great anticipation, interception, and again, good field position. They're at their own 40 here, and they get their second possession.
Interception tonight will have it 1st down and 10 from their own 40-yard line. 5:02 left here.
So 5:02 to go. That drive is stopped by a turnover, and North Lincoln will have it at their own 40, already leading 7-0. Handoff up the middle. Wingate just taking people with him. Gets across midfield all the way to the 49-yard line of the Green Wave. That'll be a gain of 11 for him, and another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Knights.
Yeah, again, one thing that Ashbrook is doing is their 2 defensive tackles are plugging the A gaps. That's just going to force them to widen that veer out to Wingate.
More
attacking
off tackle.
tackle.
Yeah, through the guard tackle slot. Okay.
There it is again.
There it is again. And he breaks one tackle, now drags a tackler. He gets hit about 4 yards into the play, and it ends up with a gain of 8.
Well, we've seen that a few times from him.
Well, if you've got 1,800 yards, you've done that a few times this year. So he gets 7 on that one.
up a second down and 2 coming up.
So he's got 4 carries for 41 yards already. And it's going to be 2nd and 3 for the Knights. And this time the Knights come out with 2 wide receivers, one to each side, Doden and DeSantos. Sipe pitches. He's got Folk. Folk's got room. He gets out in the corner. He's across the 30, out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Make it 27. A gain of 15.
Enough for another Ray City steal.
Yeah, again, so what they did there is they kind of brought in one of their outside linebackers to kind of almost play like a defensive end type. He was up there right behind that right defensive end, his teammate, and then they just went right around him. Good speed there.
So that's a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Knights at the 27. Handoff. And this time there's not much there. And now that play was blown dead. False start on the Knights. That is the first penalty of the ball game. 5-yard variety. And the way they're ripping off runs here, that shouldn't be an issue, but you just don't want to get behind the sticks when you have a running offense.
Yeah, like you say, one good thing that obviously they got going for them is they're up 7-0. They've just got a turnover and they're moving the ball. But they're going to, need something big here.
Sipe keeps, pitches. He's got Agee out in space again around the 25, down the sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds at, they're marking it at the 14-yard line, so that's a gain of 13.
Guess that takes care of that penalty.
No, I'm sorry, that's the 12, so he got just enough for the first down, 15-yard run there. Nice gaudy average of 18 per carry for Agee. They just rip off. They've been gashing defenses, just big chunk plays. And it's in the running game. It's not always in the passing game. So 1st and 10. Hand off to Folk on a kind of inside wide receiver reverse. He's stacked up and then thrown back. And they're not going to throw a flag on that. There were about 7 guys from Ashbrook that had him wrapped up, and one threw him to the turf late. But not before he got a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, they've run that a couple times. We saw that 2 weeks ago in their first playoff game, a little underneath little counter play. They'll pull the backside guard and try to lead out like a fullback as a lot of times Wingate will replace the pulling guard and block who's ever there, and then they'll run that H-back kind of underneath. That time it was Folk.
Wingate right up the middle, untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, North Lincoln. 11-yard touchdown run for Shannon Wingate, his 30th touchdown on the ground this season. And that is another Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Lincolnton touchdown for the Knights. And if things hold true to form here, they'll go for 2 on the second touchdown of the night.
That's right.
Go for Dos, as they say.
Is that a pun with Dos Santos as a receiver?
Or Dos Equis, or I'm not sure which. It could be, take your pick.
Oh,
and they are going to go for 2. Jump pass. That's intercepted at the goal line. He can return that for 2.
Can he not? Oh,
nope.
Maybe not.
Okay, so the bit of a jump pass there. Thought he was Tim Tebow or something. And that got intercepted, so the James River Equipment PAT is no good. So with 2:53 to go in the first quarter, it's North Lincoln 13, Ashbrook 0. You're listening to high school football on KTC.
On a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
So, my goodness, we've got an update from Hickory, and this is something Hickory's not used to. They are trailing Crest already 26-7. So
I don't think has Hickory been behind at all the last 2 years.
They might have
the
been
playoffs?
behind in the state championship game. I know that. So it's 13-0 here. Dillingham booms one, and that flies into the end zone. Another touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 for Ashbrook at the 20-yard line. So the last drive, 5 plays, 60 yards, and it only took 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
And if you were to say that, you'd say, well, how many passes were in that? And the answer would be
Not a one.
0.
They have not thrown a pass yet. They haven't needed to. Why if you don't have to?
We'll have to wait and see how Ashbrook adjusts to that. Like I said, they must have done something last week because they were down 14-0 at South Point.
They were.
But we don't know exactly how that game went. We'll find out.
Back to pass. Receptions made. Catches made by number 20, Zymir Carpenter. And he gets just enough for the first down. He gets it to the 30-yard line. So they've already thrown 7 times, but they've only completed 3.
Well, technically 4, if you count the one to AG.
Well, that's true. If we're not being fussy about who
No,
caught the pass,
that's
then he's completed 4 of 7. That's correct.
But a lot of their passes are a little more of timing, so if North Lincoln can pick up on that, then that's going to work in North Lincoln's favor.
Yeah, quick outs. Well, they have thrown a couple down the field. Low snap, fumbled, and he falls on it. Problem, second time they've had a problem with a snap where it's been low back to McLean, and he's had to fall on it both times. Now he loses 6 on that one. So he's lost 16 and 6 on 2 bad snaps.
Yeah, I just wonder if maybe if it's nerves or cold weather or a little bit of both. But he just doesn't look comfortable back there. I don't know if he's seen a lot of the film and seen how North Lincoln, as we mentioned in pregame, kind of blitzes from all over the field. I wonder if he's that time that was more on him than it was the center.
Good snap there. Catches, steps up, looks to throw, and he's going to be wrapped up. And he may have fumbled the ball. Brady Rinkus comes out with it. Let's see. Now they're saying he's down. Rinkus is holding up the football. So they're going to say he held on to the ball, but Brady Rinkus came up holding it. That didn't work for Oklahoma and Oregon in 2006 on an onside kick. The player from Oklahoma handed the ball to the official, and they gave it to Oregon. That crew got fired. They got fired for that one. Not that I remember that, even though it was only 18 years ago. But yeah, it sounds like a disgruntled Sooner fan to me. So it's 3rd and 15. McLean back in the pocket. He's flushed out, being chased, looks downfield, and gets lit up. Another fumble.
That time it was a fumble.
That was a fumble. And one of the linemen, 75, fell on it, but he's wishing he didn't because he got rocked.
Yeah, but Sonny again.
Jalen Dickey got hammered trying to fall on it. My goodness. So 4th down's coming up. That'll be the end of the first quarter. And it's been a good quarter for North Lincoln as they lead Ashbrook 13-0. You're listening to high school football on KTC Broadcasting and WCSL Cherryville 92.9.
Explore the outdoors with a Can-Am from Power Max Motorsports at Iron Station. From open road to the trails, there's a Can-Am right for you. And now the new 2025 Can-Ams are in stock. And ask about promotional financing on the remaining 2024 Can-Am models. And see the street-legal, road-ready Can-Ams with heating and air conditioning. And be sure to check out the end-of-the-season deals on the remaining Toro mowers. That's Power Max Motorsports, 3636 East Highway 27 in Iron Station. Online at PowerMaxMotorsports.com. Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agriculture fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Garcia back to punt for Ashbrook. He had an 8-yard kick the first time tonight. Let's see if he can do a little bit better. Maybe he can reach the sticks. Low snap. Oh, my, that was almost blocked. Gets out across the 50. Folk just runs away from it. We'll let it bounce. And it's touchdown at the 36-yard line. So a decent kick there. But, again, it'll still be good field position for North Lincoln.
Yeah, North Lincoln's starting to feel it, too, after that hit from Bassani. Knocked that ball loose, and then the lineman took a hit. So it was 2 hits there on that but one play.
Yeah, North Lincoln just flying around on defense, especially the first 7.
We'll see if Ashbrook's got anything for him. Again, the only adjustment I've seen is taking one of the defensive tackles and winding them out. We'll see if that continues to hold, but then they just pitch it, and it's either AG or Falk taking off.
Yeah, they haven't stopped him yet. There's been no plays for negative yardage. I mean, they've only run 9 plays. Handoff straight up the middle. Wingett's got it, gets out, falls forward to the 40-yard line, so he'll gain 4. Again, just straight up the middle. The first contact is past the line of scrimmage. North Lincoln may be outsized, but they aren't out-hustled.
No, like you say, we've been impressed all year the way the offensive line just continues to block. If there's nobody in front of them, they get to the second level, and sometimes they get to the third level.
Well, you've run for 4,000 yards. You're doing something right, and it's just 12 games. This time, Sipe keeps it, turns it up. He's got room. He's across the 45, another first down. He gets out to the 47-yard line, his first carry of the night, and that's what he'll do. I mean, it looks like it's up the middle or outside pitch or outside. Next thing you know, he turns it up and gets a good gain.
Yeah,
just makes the right decision.
It was perfect. Like you say, they overplayed the pitch man on that one, and Slipe just put his foot in the ground, got vertical, and was able to pick up that Turnhauser Insurance first down. Again, he's been running this offense great, really in 2 years. I mean, we covered him some last year.
Yeah.
It's just getting better and better.
Well, you got AG out there, 2 carries, 36 yards. They're going to overplay that, so he just turned it up. Keeps it again, pitch to Folk. Folk's going around the left side. Block out in front by AG, but he didn't get very far with it. And he might be back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Yeah, that was a good job there by Cameron Mayfield for Ashbrook. He just fought off that block, maintained outside leverage, and kept his shoulder out there. And then when AG or Folk came around the side, he made a great tackle. But you did it once. Can you do it twice?
Yeah, but you've got to do it over and over and over with this North Lincoln offense. And this time, as North Lincoln goes to set, number 23 jumps offside. That is Quamel Scott, 230-pound junior lineman, is guilty of the offside, so that's a free 5 yards for North Lincoln. So it'll be 2nd and about 5.
Bring up a 2nd down and 5 coming up.
Yeah, they don't need any help.
So that gets it to the plus 48-yard line, so they're on the Ashbrook side of the field. 2nd and 5. Sipe back to pass, looks, and it's tipped. He had a receiver open, that was DeSantos, but is that 17?
I believe so.
Yeah, 17. That is Jaden Mausen. He stepped up and he got a hand on it, just went past him. If he had tipped it straight up to himself, that would have been an interception. So,
yeah, I got him listed as 5'9", 160. If he was 5'11", he probably would have picked that one up.
All right, so they need 5 here. They pitch to AG. He's got the corner. He's across the 40, the 30, the 20. Breaks it a little bit inside, drags the tackler inside the 20. And the Knights are in the red zone. It's just death by 1,000 paper cuts and about 15 yards at a crack. So he gets all the way down to the 18-yard line. Gain of 30. He's got 21, 15, and 30 on 2 carries tonight.
I don't know if they just don't think he's that fast or not, but like I said, that's the 3rd time he's gotten out there.
Well,
I don't know what
if they
they're
don't
thinking.
think he's fast, what's that blur in black going by?
Yeah. He's the one that's on his way to the end zone.
Yeah, you better grab hold quick. And it is blackout, the theme here tonight at North Lincoln. It is Black Friday, and this time Wingate straight up, and this time he's not going to get much on that one. Maybe, well, you know what? It looked like he hit at the line of scrimmage, and he gained 2. So good push by the line for North Lincoln. And Ashbrook is going to take a timeout, and we'll take one too. We'll be back with 2nd and 8 after this message.
Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com.
So Ashbrook has taken their first time out of the half as they are getting gashed by the North Lincoln offense, trying to see if they can make an adjustment here. Ball is on the 16-yard line, 2nd and 8. Mistakenly said Wingate was stacked up at the line. Well, it's where the line had been moved to. He did gain 2. That just shows you the surge that comes out of this undersized line for North Lincoln. So we got 8:48 to go in the second quarter, 13-0. Sipe, hands off, straight up the middle again. Wingate. And he's going to get about 3 yards on that. That's his 8th carry of the game already. He gets down to the 13-yard line.
Looking at What's Up Shopper, it looks like we've got a camera at our game, but it must be standing on their head.
It's upside down.
Because it's upside down.
Kevin, you might want to check that or flip the video or something. So it's 3rd and 5. We're right side up here. And pitch to AG again. He's got the corner. He's going to have the first down. He's knocked out. And that's not, I don't think that's the best spot. They're saying he got to the 9-yard line. So he got 4. He needed 5. Not the best spot there, but when you've got Shannon Wingate and you need 1 yard, it's pretty safe what the call might be. But with North Lincoln, you never quite know. Sometimes those. So Sipe stands up quick, trying to see if he can draw him offside. Doesn't. Hands off to Wingate, and he should have the first down. First contact was not enough, but the second contact he rolled, or second effort, he got further. He should be at the 8-yard line based on where this is marked. Ashbrook keeps waving like they think it's their ball, but I don't think so based on where the linesmen were. They needed to get to the 8-yard line, or the 9. It should be enough.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Oh, yep, it is. It's a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Knights. It's at the 8. So he got 2 when he needed 1.
They're going to call for a measurement? I don't think it's official yet.
Well, the down marker has changed.
I don't know what's going on.
The sticks are still there. Well, now we're going to have our second measurement of the season.
Hey, how about that?
This is only our second measurement, and we've done 14 ball games this season. My goodness. I don't know what. There is no defense being played for the most part. And it is a first down now. 32-21. Crest leads Hickory, and there's still 2 minutes to go in the first half. That looks like a basketball score.
It's hard to believe anybody's putting 32 up on Hickory. Crest must have seen something that nobody else has seen.
Yeah, well, they got a turnover in there too, but now Hickory's come back and put a couple scores up. So they're going up and down the field up there in north side of Hickory. We know what that place is like because we don't put a crowd mic out because all you hear is We are literally right under the PA.
We know where the PA speaker is.
We know where it is. It's about 2 feet above our head, and our feelings rattle the entire game every time they speak.
But we do have our own little booth.
We do.
It's
It's
quite
nice. Yes. We've got that going for us.
And I got a window.
Sipe pitches. He's got it. Folk's got it. He walks into the end zone untouched. Touchdown for the Knights. Another Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Lincolnton touchdown for the Knights, and it is 19-0 with a James River Equipment PAT upcoming.
They just have no answer for this offense. Like
They
you say,
don't.
I thought they were.
And they've seen South Point
I was going to
twice.
say, they should be used to it.
So this time they go back to bringing on their weapon, Jake Dillingham, to kick the extra point. Sipe will hold it. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it's pounded through. And good. So with 7:27 to go in the first half, it's North Lincoln 20, Ashbrook 0. We'll be back with more Lincoln County High School football after this timeout.
The Dodge Black Friday sales event is underway at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln. Get in on big performance and receive $11,100 total bonus cash allowance on the new 2024 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. And if you're a Ford brand owner or leasee, you can get $2,000 bonus cash allowance on a new 2024 Dodge Durango. All during the Black Friday sales event at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln.
So the Knights go up 20-0 after a 10-play, 64-yard drive that took 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Doing the math here as quickly as I can. Thank God I used to teach the stuff.
That's the longest drive of the night. As far as time-wise, that is.
Time-wise and play
Oh, I
number-wise,
guess, yeah,
that was more plays than they've had before that on the previous 2 drives total. They'd only run 9 plays. They ran 10 on that one. So, again, an 8-yard touchdown run by Folk. And it's 20-0. We've still got 7.5 minutes to go. I was saying during the timeout, they've still got a chance for 2 more scores. There's one of them. Dillingham, high kick, fielded by Smith at the 4-yard line. He goes straight up the middle, tries to find a gap, but runs into a lot of black shirts there. Gets out to the 25-yard line. So, again, it'll be 1st and 10 for Ashbrook. But, again, not the best field position.
No, like I say, Ashbrook just kind of needs to do whatever their game plan was. I think maybe they're getting a little bit out of sync here. And, of course, North Lincoln's having a lot to do with that. But I just like to, see what they can do. Just put a drive together.
So this is their 4th possession. They've started at the 17, the 27, the 20, and the 25. That's an average of almost 80 yards you've got to go when you get the football. And you just don't see that often, even at this level of the playoffs, with teams that can do that on a regular basis. Handoff to Smith. He goes through the left side. He's got an opening. Gets wrapped up by number 15. And I should know that name. We've seen this team. Yeah, Kate Sturgill. We've seen this enough here, but there's a flag down on the play.
Yeah, I wonder if it was a horse collar.
I don't know. He's kind of rode him. Might be just horse riding, not horse collar. So, I mean, Sturgill kind of saddled it up and rode him for 5 yards. So they are calling a horse collar. Good eyes there.
Oh, they are the Knights, so.
Yeah, they're used to riding horses and where's King Arthur and all that. And we'll get into a Monty Python reference in no time here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Just because I have the films memorized.
Such a silly person.
Such a silly game. So he gets all the way to the 46-yard line between the run and the penalty. So that's a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for Ashbrook. They are in, and another snap rolled back to the quarterback. He tries to fire it quickly, but it's wide of his receiver. Again, that's the 3rd snap now that is rolled back to him. He did fumble one that wasn't that bad, but It just comes dribbling back to him. There's not much he can do with
like
it.
they were trying to play bocce on that one, but Mullen, I think the nose for North Lincoln has been pretty much trying to disrupt things. You just kind of wonder if maybe that's part of it.
The center's getting antsy, seeing what's right across the line, and it's now kind of an I formation. And we're going to have motion here, false start. That one will go against Ashbrook. So it is a false start. Mount Airy leads Starmount 14-0, or 14-7. Let's see, any other area games here? We know the Hickory score. That's 30. Mooresville leads East Forsyth 17-14. Weddington leads Northern Guilford 48-0. Good gracious. So they're back on their own side of the field now at the 49-yard line. Hand off to Smith. He goes straight into the line and nowhere else.
Number 10, Martino Smith on the carry.
And may have got one.
I believe one.
11, Brady Rinkus.
The line judge on this side had him at the line of scrimmage. The other had him gaining one, so he ends up with a gain of one, and it's 3rd and 14. And North Lincoln has kept them from having 3rd and short most of the night. We had 4th and 3rd and a mile, like 26 yards or something like that. Now they've got 14.
Well, it seems like one a possession that the center and the quarterback missed that snap up.
Clean snap this time. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run. He's got some room. He's trying to get out of there. Ryan Bassani was shadowing him, and then he saw number 9, and that is Tanner Ayers.
Yeah.
He saw him coming at full tilt and decided, I'm going to fall down.
Put the brakes on and blew a tire.
So he gained 6 on that, but it's still going to be 4th and 8. And so Zell Garcia will be back to try his 3rd punt of the ball game already. And Falk is back standing at his 10-yard line. What's the rule there if you're standing on your 10?
If it goes over your head, let it go.
Right.
You kind of wonder here, there's going to need to be a timeout from Ashbrook.
Yeah, they're going to take a timeout here. Some confusion on who was supposed to be on for the kick team. So timeout Ashbrook, and we'll take one here as they take their second. We'll be back with a punt after this.
It's time to gobble up the savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Hurry in now and save big during the red tag sale. All remaining 2024 models gotta go. You save thousands of dollars. Ask about special lease deals on the Chevy Equinox EV and the Chevy Blazer EV. You'll find great rates as low as 0%, and Costco members get an extra $1,000 discount. And check out the big inventory of Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com. Like them on Facebook too.
So we're going to have a punt formation here, 4th and 8.
Yeah, be careful here, though. This area of the woods.
At this point, you're down 20-0. There's not much for Ashbrook to lose here. Again, we're keeping an eye on the Crest-Hickory game. Crest punched Hickory in the mouth, but now here comes Hickory. It's 34-28 right before the half. So Garcia will kick this one. High kick. Falk waves for a fair catch and catches it on the run and falling. Kind of a dangerous play there, but they'll get the ball. 1st and 10 at. They'll get it at the 16-yard line, the worst field position they've had in probably 3 weeks.
I've just been kind of sitting there thinking, I mean, how many times has North Lincoln scored on their first whatever possessions? I mean, last week it was what, first 7? The week
first
before,
7. It was first 6 or 7.
7.
Yeah, they keep scoring every time they get the ball. That makes it tough.
And the only time they really get stopped is when they bring the subs in for 4th quarter.
Right. And that's all it was last week, and that's when Wes Henderson ended up with almost as many yards, but it's because it was garbage time at that point. Sipe keeps it, pitches to Agee. He's out at the corner, turns it up, gets 1st down, and he's sent back, but not before getting to the 27-yard line, and AG just continues to gash them on the outside. They do not have an answer for that.
And I believe most of the time that he runs, it's been to that right side. So, like I said, until they at least stop it from getting 10 yards every play, yeah, they're going to have to maybe keep an eye on that play.
27-yard line, 4:50 left here in the first half.
So he's got 5 carries now for 81 yards. Sipe keeps it. I don't know if he was intending to keep it or not, but he did. Ducked behind his lineman, and he does pick up 3 yards. How do you get 3 yards on that? That's just not right. That play looked like it didn't work the way it was supposed to, and you look up at the end of it, and they got 3.
Every now and again, he'll kind of get behind Wingate, almost run like a power I. He's the I back, even though he's the quarterback.
Pitch this time goes to Folk. Folk breaks through an opening, gets out to the 35, 36-yard line. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down, but a good run there. So it'll be 3rd and 1.
Third down and a short 1.
Yeah, that was a good job from Falk. I had a perfect angle up here in the booth. He looked like he just squeezed between 2 Ashbrook players and almost broke free of it.
It wasn't a big gap, but it was big enough. So 3rd and 1. AG fakes going in motion, goes back to the wing back position. Hand up. Now, Wingate right up the middle. Sorry if we call the wrong person. This whole thing is about deception. It's trying to deceive the defense, and it also deceives the broadcasters. You're laughing because you don't have to try and call who's getting the ball.
I said, I'm good. Yeah, I'll just sit here and just try to.
You can say what happened afterwards. Yeah, you lucky guy. Yeah. Pressure's on me. 3 minutes to go in the first half, 20-0. North Lincoln with the ball, trying to drive down and get a score, and they get the ball to start the second half. Sipe back to pass, flushed out of the pocket. He throws it away. It gets to the line of scrimmage. AG was in the area, so it will not be grounding, and it'll be second down. They were looking to go deep, but nobody was open, and all of a sudden he's looking at 3 white jerseys.
Yeah. I was kind of waiting to see if they said maybe he got out of the tackle, but like you say, he did get the ball back to the line of scrimmage over Tim Folk's head.
I didn't see who caught it on the bench. If anybody, it might have gone over the players standing there on the sideline. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 40. Sipe keeps it. Pitches to AG. Oh, boy. Number 18. That is Keenan Early. And he laid out AG on that one. That's the first play that North Lincoln has lost yardage on tonight.
Yeah, Early was out there like playing the corner position, and he was just out wide.
And AG's coming off slowly. North Lincoln will take a timeout. Addie McGinnis out to take a look at him. He got rocked.
Yeah.
He was trying to concentrate on catching the pitch, and Early came storming in from the corner position, as you said, and he just lit him up. Amazingly, AG held on to the football.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think Sipe saw him either, because I think Sipe probably would have planted himself, and he would have pulled it up and
he would have turned up.
It.
Yeah.
I mean, he just, because you hadn't seen it all night. As I said, that was the first time that Ashbrook's been in the backfield to stop AG. I mean, we said he was averaging, 13, 15 yards
16 yards a carry. So we've got 2:25 to go here. They've gone to halftime. With all the scoring up in Hickory, they are just getting to halftime. It's 34-28 Crest. So Hickory took a punch, and they're coming back now. Again, the winner of this game, North Lincoln and Ashbrook, will play the winner of Hickory and Crest. If it's Crest and North Lincoln, it will be here.
Another Big South team, Crest out of the Big South along with Ashbrook.
So 3rd and 13, 2 wide receivers, kind of an inside reverse again to Folk. They've run that play before. And kind of a conservative call, but you don't want to do anything crazy. You're going to get the ball to start second half here.
Yeah, so saw Anthony Alberti stepping in for Agee there, give him a little extra breather.
Was it Alberti that carried that one?
No,
it was Folk.
Yeah, it was Folk. Yeah, Alberti kind of ran the deceptive the other way.
And that was for no gain.
And that's Ashbrook's third timeout. They try to get the ball back and try to get something here before the end of the first half.
2:11 to go, 20-0. And we'll keep it here. So we're getting close to halftime. Taking a look at some other scores. West Charlotte traveling up the mountain, and they are smoking the number 1 seed, Irwin, 30-0. That's the other side of the bracket. The winner will play the Robinson-Dudley winner. Robinson leading 7-0. 4A, Grimsley leads Charlotte Catholic 28-7. Huff and Mallard Creek in a pitcher's duel, 0-0. And Mooresville leads East Forsyth 17-14. So far the Charlotte teams are doing well, except for Charlotte Catholic. So it could be 3 out of 4 at this rate. And West Charlotte in the 3A. So Ayers is back to punt. First punt of the game. And he angles it down, and he gets a good kick. Bounces at the 32. And it goes all the way down to the 17-yard line. He gets 15 yards of roll on that.
After the punt, the Greenwave will start their drive, 1st and 10.
So a 56-yard punt, no return. You got to like that if you're.
Absolutely.
You've got to like that.
Yeah, we mentioned the special teams factor for North Lincoln, and that keeps showing its head every time they have to do something. Yeah,
Agee, yeah. Someone in the press box just pointed out Agee's back out on the field. That's a good sign. He did get rocked pretty well. So just under 2 minutes to go. 3 wide receivers in a stack on the right side, but they hand off. It goes to Smith. And he gets to the 20-yard line. Ryan Bassani races over to make the tackle.
Yeah, he's made a couple tackles tonight that are just pretty much what you would call perfect form tackles and hard. Ashbrook, no timeouts.
Well, they're out of timeouts. Okay, so again, snap goes this time to McLean. He breaks through the line, gets across the 30, dragged down at the 35. That'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down. Gain of 15. So I think that finally gets him into positive yardage for the gain because he had the 16 and the 6 and 2 6-yard losses on the low snaps. So again, they're going to run trips to the wide side of the field, which is down the bottom here. McLean back, steps up, flushed out of the pocket, looks downfield, gets drilled as he throws. It's a jump ball, and it's intercepted. Tip is made, and it's picked off by number 10, Aaron Doden. Nice pass downfield. There were 2 defenders, 2 wide receivers. It tipped off of 1 player. Doden was back there just saying thank you and makes the interception.
Yeah, a lot of kudos to Cade Sturgill. Came in on that blitz and was able to stick McLean before he was trying to get anything into that pass. But good job there in the secondary, as you mentioned. And that's their second turnover, second interception. First one was by Agee, that one by Doden. I think Agee was the one that tipped it to Doden on that one.
Well, if I put this down here, I can talk and you can hear me. Okay, so only 1:03 to go. They're going to be conservative here unless they can, of course, break something. So 3-yard carry by Wingate. Clock is rolling, 46 seconds to go in the half. Ball gets out to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I believe they're just going to try to get this one to halftime. They do get the ball in the second half. They have 2 timeouts left, if I got it right. Yep.
But they're letting the clock roll just under 30. Another pitch to Agee. Goes to the sideline, gets knocked out of bounds. And an Ashbrook coach came up and just chest bumped one of his players. He came running down the sideline and chest bumped him. He was hot.
I think maybe he's trying to motivate a little bit because that's probably only the second time that they've held AG under his 15-yard average.
Brings up a 3rd down and 3.
So he gets to, let's see, the 37-yard line.
The 37-yard line of the.
But he did get 6. So it's going to be 3rd and short, about 3 yards. 20 seconds left exactly. Handoff up the middle. Wingate has it. Gets the first down. And that should be the last play of the half. We're down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. That's the end of the first half. With the score, North Lincoln 20, Ashbrook 0. We'll be back with a stadium halftime show after these messages.
Call Bean Brothers Landscaping in Lincoln and ask about their lawn care agreements for both residential and commercial, starting at $199 per month, including mowing, edging, string trimming, and blowing. Silver, gold, and platinum packages are available on a 12-month agreement, including 41 yearly visits, 30 weekly March through September, 11 off-season visits during October through February. And they'll even clean out your flower beds. Call Bean Brothers Landscaping at 704-718-4988, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Online at beanbrotherslandscaping.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
For your pest control for your home or business, who you gonna call? Bug Busters. For over 25 years, they've been serving North and South Carolina with the best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned and operated. From crawl space encapsulation to termites to wildlife to pest control to structural repair to waterproofing. They do it all. Call 704-732-2227. Online at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook, too. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
Polaris Deal Days are underway at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Now get up to $3,000 off select off-road Polaris vehicles. Built to go, priced to move. Also, it's the CF Moto All Cylinders Sales Event with financing as low as 0.99% or rebates up to $1,500. And get Honda bonus bucks up to $1,500 for accessories, protection plans, or for your down payment at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too. For over 60 years, Honda Motorcycles of Shelby has been serving this area, and they continue to do so today. Right now, you'll find a good inventory of dirt bikes, plus 150 and up to 450 models of on- and off-road bikes. See the new 2024 Honda Rebel, along with 4x4 ATVs and side-by-sides, including the Pioneer and the Talon, plus Gold Wings and Trikes. And don't forget about their parts and service department. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at HondaMotorcyclesofShelby.com. Tarzan says it's the biggest tree cutting special he's ever seen from J. Douglas Tree Service. Why, it's so big, it's driving cheetah bananas. Now, for a limited time from J. Douglas Tree Service, all current customers can take 10% off. But that's not all. New customers get 20% off. Trim it up, cut it down, and they also do stump grinding. And they've just recently added a 75-foot bucket truck. Call 704-689-9459. Again, 704-689-9459 for a free estimate. That's J. Douglas Tree Service.
Get more bang for your buck at James River Equipment Company in Shelby, the area's John Deere dealer. Now, when you purchase a John Deere compact tractor and loader, you'll get pallet forks for only $1. That's right, $1. Plus, get 0% financing for 60 months. But hurry, the offer ends soon at James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Highway 180 North in Shelby. Online at jamesriverequipment.com.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their many floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Explore the outdoors with a Can-Am from Power Max Motorsports at Iron Station. From open road to the trails, there's a Can-Am right for you. And now the new 2025 Can-Ams are in stock. And ask about promotional financing on the remaining 2024 Can-Am models. And see the street-legal, road-ready Can-Ams with heating and air conditioning. And be sure to check out the end-of-the-season deals on the remaining Toro mowers. That's Power Max Motorsports, 3636 East Highway 27 in Iron Station. Online at PowerMaxMotorsports.com. Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too. Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com.
I work my tractors really hard. I give all they've got. I demand as much horsepower as they can possibly give me. I tell you what, I've had these Coyote tractors for probably 10 years now. They've served me well. Been good.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, the 27 West intersection in Vail.
Well, we thank Sam Elliott for that message. It may not have been him, but it sure sounded like him. So anyway, 20-0 is our score. It is the Stadium Halftime Show brought to you by Power Max Motorsports of Lincolnton. And taking a look at the first half stats, it is all North Lincoln. Let's start with them. 0 for 2 passing, so no yards there, but no losses either, no sacks. 26 carries, 197 yards, so they've averaged almost 8 yards a carry, about 7.5. Just grinding it out. Leading rusher is Landon Agee, 7 carries, 84 yards. Wingate, 11 carries, 71 yards. Folk, 6 carries, 32 yards. Let's see. Folk had a touchdown. Agee had a touchdown. And who had the other one? Did Wingate? Did they each get one? I'm looking at it here, and it was Agee and Wingate. Agee, Wingate, and Folk, the law firm of Agee, Wingate, and Folk, and they each have 1 touchdown. And Sipe 2 carries for 10, so that's a total of 197 yards. On the other side, and this will tell you what's going on here, 3 of 9 passing for 38 yards, 2 interceptions. So as you pointed out, they've completed 5 of 9. Problem is 3 to the guys in white, 2 to the guys in the black. Total of 38 yards. Let's see, the leading receiver for them is number 20. That is Zymir Carpenter. He's got 2 catches for 19 yards. And then the other catch was made by Saren Montgomery, and he also has 1 catch for 19 yards. So a total of 38. 72 yards offense. That's it. And if you look at the rushing totals, you've got 7 carries for McLean rather. Now McLean's the quarterback. Smith is the running back. He's got 7 carries for 30 yards, and the quarterback has 7 carries for 4 yards. But of course, you got to figure in a -16 and 2 -6s into that, just bad snaps or bad decisions. So not a lot of offense there for Ashbrook. So let's take a look. Scott, let's get us up to date on some of the scores. We've kept you up to date pretty well on what's going on with Crest and Hickory, and that's just a slugfest up there offensively. But let's take a look at some of the other scores we have.
All right, we've got to see what we got. West Charlotte 36, Irwin 0.
Oof.
Robinson 7, Dudley 6. Opposite of Crest and Hickory, which is Crest 34, Hickory 28. Grimsley 28, Charlotte Catholic 7. Is that an upset, or is that? I don't know much about Grimsley, but Huff 13, Mallard Creek 0. Mooresville 17, East Forsyth 14.
That's about the best game of the night right now.
And yeah, we'd mentioned, I think, Weddington earlier, 55-0 over Northern Guilford.
That's going to be a running clock already.
Yeah.
That's just insane. They are the defending 4A state champions.
Okay, like you said, it's third round of the playoffs. You don't see that.
Not like that. My goodness.
Mount Airy 20, Starmount 7. Corvian 13, Eastern Randolph 6. Robbinsville 7, Murphy 6. And the Ice Bowl, I would imagine, up there.
Oh, good
Mountain
gracious.
Heritage 24, East Wilkes 8. Brevard 7, East Rutherford 6. So they're hanging in. 21-17, Salisbury over Forest Hills. Monroe 27, West Stokes 7. Shelby 21, Community School of Davidson 0.
So Monroe and Shelby would meet next week. If that holds true, that would be a battle. And then, let's see, on the other side it would be, well, the winner of Mountain Heritage, East Wilkes, and Brevard, East Rutherford. East Rutherford looking for their 3rd straight road win in the playoffs. They're a 17 seed. Chances of them being home is pretty nil, and it hasn't bothered them.
No.
I wonder when the last time is somebody went into Reedsville and won a ball game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen much. So here at North Lincoln, it's 20-0. The Knights in control at the moment. And we'll be back with more of the Stadium Halftime Show, brought to you by Power Max Motorsports of Lincolnton. You're listening to Lincoln County High School football on WCSL 92.9 and KTC Broadcasting.
For the folks in Cherville and Shelby, I'm sure you remember when the Western Steer was in your town, and we wish they were still here. But I've got good news. There's a Western Steer just a few minutes up the road in Newton. From Cherryville, hop on Highway 321 Business. And from Shelby, go Highway 18 to 10 to Newton. You get real comfort food, home-cooked style with down-home hospitality. Try their big unbeatable buffet or order from their menu. And they've got a party room for big groups. The Western Steer in Newton, 334 Southwest Boulevard in Newton at the Highway 10 and 321 Business intersection. Open Wednesday through Sunday. The Dodge Black Friday sales event is underway at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln. Get in on big performance and receive $11,100 total bonus cash allowance on the new 2024 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. And if you're a Ford brand owner or leasee, you can get $2,000 bonus cash allowance on a new 2024 Dodge Durango. All during the Black Friday sales event at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln. It's time to gobble up the savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Hurry in now and save big during the Red Tag sale. All remaining 2024 models gotta go. You save thousands of dollars. Ask about special lease deals on the Chevy Equinox EV and the Chevy Blazer EV. You'll find great rates as low as 0%, and Costco members get an extra $1,000 discount. And check out the big inventory of Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com. Like them on Facebook too. Call Bean Brothers Landscaping in Lincoln and ask about their lawn care agreements for both residential and commercial, starting at $199 per month, including mowing, edging, string trimming, and blowing. Silver, gold, and platinum packages are available on a 12-month agreement, including 41 yearly visits, 30 weekly March through September, 11 off-season visits during October through February. And they'll even clean out your flower beds. Call Bean Brothers Landscaping at 704-718-4988, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln, online at beanbrotherslandscaping.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Back here at North Lincoln, winding down the halftime. Got about a minute and change left, and I guess it takes a while to score 9 touchdowns because Crest and Hickory have just kicked off the second half, and we're a minute and 13 from kicking off our second half. And they had a half-hour head start.
That's right, they had a head start.
It just goes to show you. I mean, there's a lot of timeouts there and stuff.
Yeah, as much as those teams are probably, whipping it all over the yard, stopping that clock. Ugh.
Well, you got to stop for an extra point or a 2-point conversion, and then you stop again to get the teams out there for the kickoff. And next thing you know, we play a first half in an hour and under an hour for the first half.
Yeah,
because it's quarter 9, and we're almost done with halftime, and they put an extra 3 minutes on the clock. So we were done in probably 52 minutes. They're taking an hour and 30.
Ugh. Of course, we did have that Forest View. Forest View Hickory game.
It took 2 weeks.
Oh, East Lincoln and Forest View. Ooh.
Yeah, Forest View and East Lincoln took 2 weeks to finish.
That was for sure. Yeah, but what if we could beat that?
Yeah, good luck. It's like, there aren't too many 2-week ball games. Isn't that what they used to do? The Incans, didn't they used to have games that would last for days on end, and then the captain of the losing team was killed.
Oh, no,
after when it was done.
That's a little harsh. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, thanks. I'm going to pass on being a captain here.
I'm no longer not going to be the captain.
I am not interested in being the captain. Thank you. Give it to Bob over here. I want no part of it. So you've been listening to the Stadium Halftime Show brought to you by Power Max Motorsports of Lincolnton. And as they have been for this year and last year for every game, our title sponsor of Lincoln County High School football is Bugbusters of Lincolnton. So North Lincoln will get the ball to start the second half. Pretty conservative there at the end of the first half. Just didn't want to give Ashbrook anything they could go in the locker room happy about.
Well, like you say, I think we tried saying that a couple weeks ago. Ashbrook's got to come out and get a stop.
Right.
And take the ball down and get a score. And I think as soon as we came out of our mouth, like the bubble was still hanging in the air. And they went off. North Lincoln, boom, walked right down the field, scored a touchdown. So we won't do the announcer's curse, but Ashbrook's got to do something.
We have done that to some teams this year, and we apologize, but it's just the nature of what we do. So Garcia, pretty good sized player for a kicker. He's getting ready to run up, back deep, Folk and Agee, and he hits it down the middle of the field, bounces it, picked up at the 15-yard line. Cade Sturgill has it, and he gets to the 38-yard line, so a return there of 23 yards. And again, North Lincoln will have good field position. I think we've said that before.
I don't care who runs the ball for North Lincoln. Whoever's running it, they just go hard. And they don't try to go around you most of the time. They just run.
Well, Agee sometimes.
Yeah, well, he's running on the reverse, though.
Yeah, he's on the outside. You're supposed to run around people, and he does.
But when he gets near that sideline, he's not getting out of bounds. He's running over somebody.
They mark it at the 34, first down. Sipe keeps it, pitches, goes to Folk around the left side, gets across the 35. It'll be a short gain on that play. Maybe 2. So I said 38. It was the 34 they're starting on. So they get to the 36. So gain of 2. So there's the full reset on my bad spot to start the half. 2nd and 8. 2 wide receivers to the top of the field. And handoff, Wingate up the middle. He's going to be close to a first down, depends on the spot. And they do have him out to the 44-yard line. They signal a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Knights. And Ashbrook's brought a pretty decent crowd. The far sideline, far stands are relatively full. And we've got a really good crowd here, being a holiday weekend here on the North Lincoln side. So 1st and 10 at the 44. Wingate straight up the middle again, gets out to the 48, gain of 4. And they're just going to see if they can bludgeon them here, it looks like.
Yeah, a lot like they started the game with. Just try to get inside, pull them in, and then as soon as you think you got it, we'll see what Mr. Agee has to say. A little bit of adjustment I see. They're trying to cover a little bit more off both ends with those outside linebackers, pretty much leaving a huge gap. The middle linebacker all by himself.
Well, if you can get Wingate through that first level,
yeah,
he's the only one left.
Yeah, if you see here, number 5 is about 8 yards deep as the middle linebacker.
Pitch goes to Folk. He rolls over the top of a defender, gets out to midfield. Short gain. Gets out to midfield. So a gain of 2. We're just underway in the second half. 2 minutes gone. North Lincoln with the first possession, and they're at midfield facing 3rd and 4.
You kind of see it here, 22-17 are kind of outside linebackers, almost look like H-backs.
And straight up the middle, Wingate, based on the spot, they've got him across the 46-yard line. Again, enough for a first down. A Turner Hauser Insurance first down. So a gain of 4. So to start off this half, they've had gains of 2, 2, 8, 4, and 4, and 2 first downs. So 42-28, Crest is now taking the opening kickoff and scored up in Hickory. Again, we're following that closely because the winner of this game will play the winner of that game. If it is Crest and North Lincoln, that game will be here. As Crest came in as, I believe, the 13th seed. It was some
11,
number.
I think.
11?
Yeah, I just looked at it earlier.
Oh.
Okay. Pitching to nobody.
On it, scooped up. So that is the first turnover we have seen North Lincoln make. Yeah, Crest is the 11th seed. So a fumble there. And that is the first time we have seen a turnover by North Lincoln in the postseason. So that'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, it was a lot like the play that Agee kind of got hurt on. That number 18 for, I think it's Early, I believe, for Ashbrook. Yes, Keenan Early comes in and he just takes the pitch man. He doesn't even look at Sipe. And that time he just cleaned out Agee and Sipe pitched it, and there was nobody there to receive it. And then I believe Early is the one that picked it up.
So they'll have the ball in North Lincoln territory at the 39. Hand off to Smith through the right side's got an opening. Breaks one tackle, drags another player down to the 22-yard line. Gain of 17 on the play. That is their biggest play of the night in the rushing game.
Well, like I say, we said that this is the kind of half that Ashbrook needed to start, and they are well on their way. Again, doing a good job on the defensive side, forced a turnover, and now we'll see what the plan is to attack on the offensive side.
And you need to watch out here. This is a team that came back on South Point last week. They were down 2 scores. Tonight they're down 3. Little confusion here, moving receivers to the right side of the formation. Hand off, the flags are flying. Not much of a gain there. They handed off to Smith, but they had flags on both sides of the field. And it's going to be a procedure call.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember. Something just didn't look right.
Well, they had trouble getting everybody set in the right place, and it turns out they may not have been in the right place after all. Now, will they take the play because there was no gain on that? Talking to Okay, so they'll take the play. This is no gain. And we wipe that fourth penalty off the board. And I guess so the clock was running there. They will reset to 8:05. There we go. And it'll be 2nd and 10 after the declined penalty.
And now we'll run.
We got a stack of 3 to the right side of the formation, but they go away from it, hand off to Smith, and he's tackled by Ryan Bassani. Shocking. So it brings up 3rd down and long, 3rd and 8, after the 2-yard gain by Smith. They bring everybody to the wide side of the field, and then they run to the short side.
Yeah, I think obviously they're just trying to think that North Lincoln's overplaying to that trip side, and I'm sure there's at least one extra guy over there, but that hasn't worked yet. Here it is again.
Same formation, and McLean goes to the short side. He's got an opening, and he's going to be close to the 1st down. Again, running to the short side, it will be a Turner Hauser Insurance 1st down. So they are showing it just outside the 10.
First and 10 on the 11-yard
So
line.
McLean gets 9 yards when he needed 8. And it's going to be 1st and 10. The ball's on the 11, so they can get a 1st down without scoring. It'll be difficult. And now we've got 3 wide receivers. And again, they go to the short side of the field. McLean. And he gets dropped. Maybe gets 1, but that's it. Grant Mullis and Agee on the tackle. They keep trying to go to that short side.
The trip side.
Yeah, you've got all these players out to the wide side of the field. There's a lot of carpet out here, not a lot of defenders. But so Hickory's gone down and scored. It's 42-35. It's kind of back and forth. Hickory holds serve. Hand off to Smith. This time they go to the wide side of the field, and maybe that's why they're not doing it. Good pursuit there. Smith carries it, and he's actually going to lose a yard. Maybe that's why they aren't doing it.
Yeah, like I said, we called Ryan Bassani's name a few times in the first half, more for big hits than numerous hits, but now he's starting to feel it here in the second half. He's already got 3 tackles, including 1 a tackle for loss on that play.
So the running players still on and off the field for Ashbrook. Play clock is already at 10 as they break the huddle. 3 wide receivers again to the wide side, but this time it's to the far sideline. And Ashbrook is going to have to burn a timeout or risk losing another 5 yards. So the first time out of the half for Ashbrook is early in the 3rd quarter, about midway through. So we'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back with 3rd and 11 after this.
For your pest control for your home or business, who you gonna call? Bug Busters. For over 25 years, they've been serving North and South Carolina with the best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned and operated. From crawl space encapsulation to termites to wildlife to pest control to structural repair to waterproofing. They do it all. Call 704-732-2227. Online at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
So after the confusion getting the right players in the game, Ashbrook takes their first time out of the half. 3rd down and 11 from the 12. But this is a big series for both teams. Ashbrook got the stop. They got the turnover. And now they're seeing if they can get a score. Can North Lincoln return the stop?
Yeah, if they run it here, I'm thinking this is 4-down territory. We've seen the kicking game. And there isn't one. So I would imagine.
Well, somehow they got a field goal last week. I'd love to know how that happened. Snap back to McLean. He keeps it, runs to the wide side of the field, looking, and he is hunted down and tackled for a loss Ryan Bassani again. Stepping up when they need it the most.
Ryan Bassani.
We've seen in the videos how fast McLean is. Bassani was much faster coming after him.
Bring up a 4th down.
So he gets tackled all the way back to the 17-yard line. Loss of 5.
Are they punting
Seemed
it?
like more than that.
This isn't a punt attempt. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
Anthony McLean on the holding the ball.
so they brought in
Do they have a block?
Neil Garcia.
McLean's holding. Garcia's kicking. Kick is up. And it's good.
And Greenwave on the board.
So Garcia's good from 35 yards.
And there was no block. He kicked that off the ground.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I guess I can insert the foot into my mouth.
Yeah, look what you did. So it's 37. Well, let's see. They snapped it from the 17. So we'll give them 34 yards on that kick. So Garcia with the field goal, and that makes it 20-3. That was a better looking kick than some of his
I was
kickoffs.
going to say that.
So
was a
don't feel bad,
fantastic-
Scott. We've seen him kick off, and we didn't it's like, oh my goodness. Is that all you got?
You wonder why you. Oh, of course. You should just have somebody just hold this ball down here. I wonder because he can't kick off the tee. Like say, if he's a soccer player, he likes kicking it off the ground.
He's pretty. If he's a soccer player, he's a pretty good sized soccer player. I'm looking here. They're showing him at 5'10", 180. So that's a hefty soccer player. That sounds like a defender.
Garcia.
So Garcia, this time with a good kick, gets it all the way down to the 8-yard line. Taken there by Folk. He comes straight up the middle, breaks one tackle, then finally gets wrapped up and brought down at, it'll say about the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for North Lincoln. Still, though, with a more than 2-score lead. That was the thing, holding them to the field goal. Bassani with a big stop there forced him to think about kicking and not going for it on 4th. So he gets it out to the 29-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, North Lincoln. Trying to not fumble this time. Wing gets straight up the middle. Not much there.
Number 3, Shannon Wingett on the carry.
Maybe
Number
2.
45, Jeremiah Pagan. And also in on the stop.
Yeah, the last couple drives, Ashbrook's done a little bit better job corralling some of this offense.
About 2 brings up a
See if that holds.
coming up for the night.
DeSantos was the only receiver on that play, and he went and just doing a fly pattern down the field, and the defender for Ashbrook was right inside his uniform. He was well covered. So if they try and throw it here, like they might be at the moment, oh my goodness, Agey's wide open, and he overthrew him. The pass forced Agee to spin around and try and go to the other side, and that might have been just enough to make it so that it was just over his fingertips. He had to make an adjustment. It was thrown on the other side that he was looking for it, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, closest person to that was the back judge. It was not an Ashbrook person.
And the
with
back
attention.
judge wasn't going to bring him down.
No.
No, that they had Ashbrook totally fooled on that one. But I called it.
You did?
Yes, I did.
You did.
I'll try not to throw my shoulder out, patting myself on the back. So it'll be 3rd and 8. Sipe keeps it, turns up. He's going to get to about the 35-yard line. But that's going to be well short of the 1st down and bring up 4th down.
Quarterback keeper, stop on the play by number 22.
So he picks up 4, but they needed 8.
A 4th down.
Well, they're going to give him the 36, so they're still going to be 3 yards short instead of 4. And that brings on Tanner Ayers to punt.
Yeah, it's still a smart play by Sipe. I think that pitch man, Folk, was covered. Nothing to get there. Didn't turn it over. Got positive yards.
Hung on to the ball.
Tanner Ayers for the night.
So Ayers will be on to kick. Ball at the 36. And we've got a whistle.
Clock at 0.
That may have been delay of game there. So the punter gets tagged with that for some reason. So Ayers will be back to punt again this time. Snap will be from the 31. Coming after it. He gets it off. Nice punt. Caught at the 31-yard line. It's McLean.
J.J. Gordon on the return.
Is that Gordon or is that?
I can't tell if it was a 0,
0 or
an
8.
13, Tim Folk.
So a nice punt there.
That was 0, yeah.
It was 0.
You've made that call before. It was a good kick, but it was right to him.
It was, and it wasn't as high. I mean, it was decent height, but he didn't have to move for it. Didn't slow him down any.
From their own 44-yard line.
So a return of 11 gets it out to the 44, and here we go, Ashbrook with decent field position again. Because North Lincoln has not done anything with their first 2 possessions. So we've got 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far. Handoff. Nope, McLean keeps it. Goes straight up the middle, gets to the 50.
Number 8, Anthony McLean on the quarterback keeper. Stop on the play.
So he keeps it, gains 6. And we're starting to see a little bit better production from the running game for the most part. And they're going quickly. Here's a snap. Handoff to Smith. Smith goes over the left side. Spins around and is flung forward for a Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
By number 7, Ryan Bassani.
Bassani again on the tackle.
Yeah, you mentioned it. There's slight little momentum change and now a little pace change to it for the Ashbrook offense.
Running tempo. Run to Smith. He gets to the 45, and that was the line of scrimmage, and that's all. He's met by Rinkus, Folk, Houston Summy. Did I leave anybody out? Sturgill. Well, there were so many there. It's tough to keep track of them all.
Bunch of ones.
Second down 10. At the 45-yard line of
So no gain on that play. Second and 10 at the night 45. Again, 1:36 to go. Quick moving quarter. 20-3 North Lincoln. Handoff this time is a new runner, number 7. He's going sideways.
Number 7, Savion Lindsay.
And that's Savion Lindsay, his first carry of the night. So he gets 3. He did turn it up a little bit right at the sideline to get some yardage, but he was running parallel to the line of scrimmage for the most part. And it's 3rd and 7. And the Undertaker music is playing.
I wonder if there's too many men in the huddle here for Ashbrook.
And here we go again. Ashbrook having trouble with substitutions. Clock down to 3, 2, and they're going to have to burn another timeout. That's already their second one of the second half. They only have 1 left. So with 1:23 to go in the 3rd quarter, we'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Lincoln County Football on WCSL 92.9 and KTC Broadcasting.
Polaris deal days are underway at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Now get up to $3,000 off select off-road Polaris vehicles. Built to go, priced to move. Also, it's the CF Moto All Cylinders Sales Event with financing as low as 0.99% or rebates up to $1,500. And get Honda bonus bucks up to $1,500 for accessories, protection plans, or for your down payment at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
For over 60 years, Honda Motor.
48, Hickory 42.
And it turns out no one can stop anybody at this point. Crest has now got 48-32 lead over Hickory. Defense did not show up for Hickory tonight. McLean back to pass, looks, throws, he fires downfield. He's got a receiver. Catch is made. He pushed off a bit. He pushed off the receiver. There's two officials standing right there. The North Lincoln staff is going crazy in the coach's box, but they're going to call it a completion. They give him the completion down to the 7-yard line. Pass was caught by number 0. And they catch, now they hand it off to 7 again. Rinkus almost gets him in the backfield. He's finally dragged down, no gain. He pushed off the defender for North Lincoln. Pretty obvious call, but call's not made. And there are 7 officials here tonight, more than you usually have at a high school game because you're getting deeper in the playoffs, and they just let that one go. So they got down to the 10, and they got no gain on that play. So it's 32 yards on the pass completion. McLean steps up, and he's going to be free. He's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown. And that's really going to infuriate the North Lincoln faithful.
Yes, there was a block in the back that I saw from number 20
Yeah.
or 22, whoever's going off there for Ashbrook.
.50 models of on and off-road bikes. See the new 2024 Honda Rebel, along with 4x4 ATVs and side-by-sides, including the Pioneer and the Talon, plus gold wings and trikes. And don't forget about their parts and service department. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 44.
Defensive coordinator Paul Reagan had a very lengthy, heated discussion with one of the officials on the near sideline here. And rightfully so. 2 penalties.
Absolutely.
There were very obvious penalties, just ignored. It's one thing to let him play, but when you push the guy off and you create space, then that's a penalty. That's OPI. It didn't get called. So kicking off will be Garcia, Agee, and Folk back to receive. And again, a low squib down the middle of the field. Scooped up by Folk at the 15-yard line. And he's got a good return there.
Return number 13, Tim Folk.
He gets out to, they're going to mark it at the 38-yard line. So we'll get one play here, and then that'll be it for the third quarter.
Well, it's been a while since we said it, but this is an important drive, as you mentioned, from North Lincoln. They've got to at least sustain some sort of drive. Scoring would be obviously great at the end, but they haven't used much clock. They haven't run too many plays here in the third quarter.
Not too many. I can total it up here in a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 11 plays. And now Wingate up the middle is not getting much there like he was earlier in the game. They've really shut that down. What are they doing a little differently for that?
I think they're just pinching in a little bit more. Like I say, instead of maybe going straight up, they're kind of all collapsing in towards the center. But it's not 2 or 3 guys. It's now, again, they've moved those outside linebackers in behind the defensive tackles, and they're all just kind of attacking.
All right, well, that's it for the third quarter. We'll be back with the final quarter after this timeout.
Cars cousin says it's the biggest tree cutting special he's ever seen from J. Douglas Tree Service. Why, it's so big, it's driving cheetah bananas. Now, for a limited time from J. Douglas Tree Service, all current customers can take 10% off. But that's not all. New customers get 20% off. Trim it up, cut it down, and they also do stump grinding. And they've just recently added a 75-foot bucket truck. Call 704-689-9459. Again, 704-689-9459 for a free estimate. That's J. Douglas Tree Service.
So time for the fourth quarter, brought to you by our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton, and it's 20-10 North Lincoln. They have not done much since halftime. They could stand to use a good drive here. They'll start at their own 34-yard line. Pitch to AG. Now it's Falk, and this time he is hammered. There are 2 or 3 guys meeting him right at the 35-yard line. So maybe a gain of 1, but that's it.
There's definitely been a momentum change. Ashbrook is fired up. They're getting heads to the ball, and they're playing more of a 50 sort of looking on the front. Again, as I mentioned, bringing people up on the outside of the tackles.
And we've said it several times, this is not out of the normal for Ashbrook. They came back from South Point. They're trying to mount a comeback here. Play clock's down to 3. North Lincoln's going to have to take a timeout. Some confusion on where to line up, and we have not seen that out of North Lincoln either. So a little discombobulated here. Quick timeout to begin the fourth quarter. We'll take one as well. We'll be back with more after this.
Get more bang for your buck at James River Equipment Company in Shelby, the area's John Deere dealer. Now, when you purchase a John Deere compact tractor and loader, you'll get pallet forks for only $1. That's right, $1. Plus, get 0% financing for 60 months. But hurry, the offer ends soon at James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Highway 180 North in Shelby. Online at jamesriverequipment.com.
And now, after being down 16, now it's 49-48 Hickory coming back against the Crest Chargers. That game's probably going to be going for an hour after this one's over because the clock's running so fast here. We're already in the fourth quarter. 11-12 to go. 3rd and 8 for North Lincoln. Pitch, and that's not going to work either because they're blocking out at the corner. Doden was unable to maintain his block. So when the pitch goes to Agee, there's nowhere to go. They gain a yard on that play, and they're going to have to punt again.
Like you say, that's number 18 early for Ashbrook. That's the 3rd or 4th time now that he's just shedded the block on the outside and just taken that pitch man.
So 4th and 7. We're just under 11 minutes to go in the ball game. And North Lincoln's going to have to kick it away. They've still got a 2-possession lead. And we've got a player down on the field now for Ashbrook.
It was number 5, Caleb Gordon. I kind of saw he was the second tackler over here on
Okay.
Agee. Got up hobbling and just couldn't get to the sideline.
So Gordon is down on the field, a timeout on the field for an injured player. And he's trying to get up, but they're making him sit back down. So let's take a quick timeout along with him. We'll be back with more after this.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flip through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
So Caleb Gordon is up, walking off the field a little gingerly. Being the second one in, usually you don't get rolled up on. But he is definitely taking his time getting to the sideline. He's still not quite made it. He's really having an issue moving along there. So it'll be 4th and 7. Ball at the 36-yard line. Tanner Ayers is going to have to punt again. And back to kick is, back to receive, is number 7, Savion Lindsay. So let's see what goes on here with this. We're going to have a change of possession here. Ayers with a nice kick. Gets a good roll. And they're going to down that at the 24-yard line. So a good kick there by Ayers. And Ashbrook will take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Will start their drive from their own 24-yard line.
But North Lincoln only ran off about a minute and a half of time on the game clock.
Yeah, like you say, they needed one of those long possessions, but Ashbrook's really stepped it up. Like you say, this is now turned around as be a big possession for North Lincoln.
Both teams, really.
Yeah.
Depending on who makes what play. Ashbrook needs a score. North Lincoln needs a stop. And they'll come out with 3 wide receivers. And now, again, confusion on the line here, but they've got 10 seconds on the play clock. Having trouble lining up right. Handoff, fumble in the backfield, and it's recovered by North Lincoln. They screwed up the exchange.
Giving it to Ashbrook.
And they're saying Ashbrook has it. And Lindsay does come up with a recovery. It sure looked like someone had jumped on it for North Lincoln, but in the process, they still lose 5 yards. I can't believe that ball did not end up in North Lincoln's possession. So again, running at tempo here. Ashbrook quickly to the line. Handoff to Lindsay again. He runs to the short side of the field. Not much is there. And he's pushed out of bounds by Ayers. And he almost gets back the yardage loss on the last play. So now they're bringing in Lindsay instead of Smith. Wonder what that's about, if there's an issue there or not.
I'm wondering if it's on the outside, because isn't Smith number 10, right? Yeah, he's been kind of lining up as more of a receiver this half rather than in the backfield. Maybe trying to get him out more space.
And
he's the slot.
He's the slot, yes. He's out in the slot. 4 wide receivers. Lindsay in the backfield. McLean rolls right, looks. He's going to throw down the field, and it's intercepted. Picked off by number 22, Ellington. Jamani Ellington steps in front of the receiver. It was slightly underthrown, but he steps in front, picks it off, and North Lincoln gets the stop and the ball back. 3rd interception of the game for the Knights. And the secondary has always been one of the things Coach has said might be one of their vulnerabilities at times. Not tonight. They've made some big plays.
And if there is one, a little bit of redemption, Ellington was the back when he got pushed off here down earlier in the game when they scored that touchdown. So it was good fight in there for number 22, Ellington. I thought McLean maybe should have ran that.
Oh, he had plenty of room in front of him. I thought he was going to run. All of a sudden he winds up and throws. So 1st and 10 for the Knights at their own 39-yard line, 9:45 to go. Sipe keeps, pitches, and this is not working now. This was working in the first half. It is not working now. He pitches to Folk. And there's nothing there. They have figured out what to do at the moment.
Yeah, like I say, it's corners. It's 4 and 18 early on one side, and number 4, Blanton on the other side. They're just, again, disciplined. They're just coming in, and if they come their way, they're taking that pitch man.
Is this what time you might want to fake that you're going that way? Stipe steps back and throws, and we've got 3 wide receivers. And there goes blockers at that point. Agee gets the ball, gets maybe the 2 yards back, but it's going to be 3rd and 10.
Number 20, Landon Agee on the carry.
Well, one of the North Lincoln's offense is ground to a halt in this half.
Yeah, one of the things that we kind of saw, that West Lincoln does is they'll bring in a tight end. That time it looks like North Lincoln's sort of adjustment is to run that trip sort of offense. But I think we've seen Doden at one time or another play a little tight end.
Yes.
And, he's caught a couple passes, obviously, but maybe bringing him in for that extra blocker.
Well, they had Wingate that time lined up in the slot as a blocker. More normal formation this time. Sipe throws it back. He's going to run. Flushed out of the pocket. He's got the first down, but he might have slid too early. Nope. They're going to say he got it. That was close on the slide. He went down at the 49. That's exactly 10 yards, and it's a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Knights and sorely needed after 3rd and 10.
I think, yeah, I mean, I thought he was on the other side of the 49, and they marked it on this side of the 49. Ashbrook's kind of wondering, that was a little early to call that first down, especially where they marked it.
Yeah, I was surprised. Where he started, it's where you start your slide. It's not where you hit the ground. I thought he was short, but favorable spot. First down for the Knights. Pitch to Folk. He's got around the corner, and he gets a couple yards, and then he's just bottled up. There's 4 or 5 Greenwave tacklers there waiting for him.
Yeah, they've run that counter a couple times, too. Maybe one of those might be pretty good, too, at this moment. Get them flowing one way and come back the other. We'll see if that's an adjustment.
So the clock is running, 7:20 to go. North is going to run this down every play they can. Play clock at 10. 2nd and 8. At the Ashbrook 49-yard line. Quick pitch to Agee. He's trying to get to the corner, and it's strung out. Good job by the Greenwave defense.
Landon Agee on the carry. Stop on play by 0, J.J. Gordon.
Play by Gordon, number 0, which is appropriate. It goes for 0 yards.
I was going to say, I thought that we had a Gordon was number 5. Must be brothers. We haven't had too many brothers lately. Maybe.
No, we haven't. Usually, yeah, we got Caleb and JJ. Caleb is a junior. JJ is the senior, 0. So is the senior, John J. So 3rd and 8. They just go to Wingate up the middle, and there's a pile there. He gets to the 47, which is 2 yards, but that's going to be it. And again, another 4th down. So gain of 2 there. And there has not been much as far as offense for North Lincoln in this half.
Yeah, as I mentioned, just that slight adjustment, more of that sort of 50 look up front. 55 up down linemen pretty much matching up with the offensive line. They've taken things away up front.
Less than 30 yards. Ayers with a booming kick over the head of the defender, and it just crawls into the end zone. 15, which is Cade Sturgill was hustling down there to see if he could down it at the 1-yard line, but it just went into the end zone. Great punt. 47-yard punt, but a net of 27. Ashbrook will get it at their own 20-yard line with 5:29 to go. North Lincoln managed to run off almost 3 minutes of clock on that possession. Let's see, I had 17, 28. Now 31 yards offense roughly for North Lincoln in this half. 2 wide receivers each side. McLean back to pass. He's looking. He's in the pocket. He's being now he gets it out. The catch is made by number 10, and the ball is stripped, and it's recovered by North Lincoln. There looked to be a hold big time, but they kept McLean in the pocket.
Yeah, that was Brady Rinkus on the recovery.
Rinkus on the recovery, and it looked like Falk might have been the one that stripped that out there.
I'm a little surprised again. Officials missing some things. I mean, there was an ineligible man downfield.
Oh, yeah. As long as that took, he was well downfield. So now the 4th turnover of the game, 3 interceptions and a fumble by Ashbrook, and that might be the death blow for them. So North Lincoln gets the ball at their own 24. Fumble by North Lincoln. But this time, North keeps it. There's dual possession on the bottom. Let's see what they call. Ashbrook is lobbying.
Recovered by number 66, Iggy Madriaga.
Iggy Madriaga, one of the great names in high school football, comes up with a football. Great job by Iggy.
And Mawson, number 17 for Ashbrook's like, hey, I got the ball here.
So?
Yeah, but again, dual possession gives it to the offense.
But they did get pushed back to the 28-yard line, so they lost 4 on that one.
It
wasn't an announcer's curse. It might have been an announcer's thought. I almost said that they're already in field goal range, but I didn't say it.
Okay. Who was the carry on that one? It's out so quick I didn't see.
I think Sipe was trying to pull it and try to get around, and then he just lost it.
So he will get credited with loss of 4. Wingett up the middle, nothing there. That has been shut off. And we've got a player down for Ashbrook. At the very least, he lost his hat. So that'll stop the clock. 4:14 to go. Official timeout for the injury. And it was number 1, Cameron Mayfield. He was slow to get up, but he is walking off the field. He's going to have to be off anyway as his helmet came off.
Well, that was a great job there by North Lincoln's trainer. She got out there faster than anybody.
Again, that is my daughter's former doubles tennis partner. They played doubles tennis together. So they get down to the 26-yard line. They gain 2 on that. And that's been the story of the half. Other than 8 yards on the first one, look at these carries for North Lincoln. 4, 4, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 0, 2, minus 2, 2, 2. It just hasn't been what you normally get. They've got 1 10-yard run, and that's it in this half. So the clock is running after the timeout. The clock starts when the ball is set, and the play clock is down to 8. Now they go to the line. Pulls it from Wingett, gets it to Folk, and again, they're shooting up, and that is not working. So Tim Folk carries that one. They say he gets to the 25. That's only 1 yard, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Ball's at the 25. The spot will be at the 32, so this is a 42-yarder, well within his range after what we saw at West Henderson last week where he bombed through 3 straight 45-yarders. So Sipe will hold, Dillingham to kick, and this would make it 2 touchdowns, the margin, instead of just 2 scores. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is no good. It's wide to the right. Plenty of distance, but no good. So they will get the ball at.
Marking it at the 20?
Or is it where the ball was snapped?
That's what I thought, but he's putting it at the 20.
But when at the end zones, does that make a difference?
I guess it does. High school's a little different.
Okay, so high school, it comes out to the 20. So we're down to 2:59 after the missed field goal by Dillingham, which would have made it at least a 2-touchdown margin. So the play clock is already at 12, but they run a spread, so they don't normally huddle all that much. Play clock down to 6. There's a snap. High snap. McLean corrals it, throws into the flat. He's got a receiver. Catch is made. And that'll be good for a Turner Hauser Insurance first down. Catch made by number 12, Montgomery. And it's an 11-yard reception. And so it goes to another quick out this time.
Anthony McLean's pass is complete to
Number 0, J.J. Gordon. He gets to the 32-yard line, only 2 yards on that one, 2nd and 8. Running quickly, McLean in the pocket, gets flushed out, and
Here comes Ryan Bassani and company. Houston Summey also in there. They tackle him for a loss. And Ashbrook is going to take their final timeout. Yeah, because I saw the official wave on the far sideline. So let's see. It should be. So the sack is made on McLean. Loss of 2 on the play. Their last. That is the last timeout for Ashbrook. We've got 2:10 to go in the ball game. And actually, it's going to be 2:15 left in the game.
See if I can get to the basketball game against Hickory and Crest.
What is the score for the basketball game, Hickory and Crest?
56 for Hickory, 48 for Crest. That was from 7 minutes ago.
56-48. Now Hickory is taking the lead. Defense is optional up there in Hickory tonight.
So 10:52 left in the game.
They've got 10:52 to go in the game. We've got 2:15. We started a half hour later. And they're going to be playing till midnight at the rate they're going.
Well, like I said, that's a one-score game with a 2-point conversion. Let's see what that does.
So again, North Lincoln Ashbrook winner plays the Hickory Crest winner if that's decided before next Friday. McLean, 3rd and 10. High snap, corrals it. He's being chased out of the pocket, looks, throws, and as a receiver wide open down the field on the far sideline, catch is made at the 41. So it's J.J. Gordon again. He gets to the 40-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of 29 on the play. So that's a Turner Hauser Insurance first down. They're at the Knights 40. 2:08 to go. Quick pass to Gordon again. Behind the line of scrimmage, Tanner Ayers had that one all the way.
Second time he's been sitting there waiting for that pass. He's really doing 2 things out there. He's kind of staying out there again to cover that pass, but also if McLean tries to run away, he's sort of that contained man. And that they have done that pretty well tonight. McLean really hasn't gotten out. He's scrambled some, but he's pretty much for the most part passed when he's scrambled.
That's 5 straight completions for McLean. Blitz coming up the middle, throw down the field, and the receiver kind of slowed up, misjudged it, and it went over his head. So that's the first incompletion of the last 6 passes. And we're down to 1:31 to go. It's going to be 3rd and 13 from the 43. I think you'll see North Lincoln's defense, especially the secondary, down the field a little bit more. As it is right now, there's 2 or 3 guys that are good 12 yards off the ball.
Yeah, they're pretty much playing quarter field here. 2 safeties pretty much got between the hashes, and then the corners got from the hashes to the sideline.
3 wide to the far side. McLean in the shotgun. Gets a snap, back, throws, over the middle, leads his receiver too much. It was Gordon again. And that was well out in front of him. Made a nice attempt at it, but it was still not close. And that's going to be 4th and 13. We're at 1:26 to go.
Obviously huge, but Ashbrook has no timeouts.
They are out of timeouts because they used 2 of them, especially one very early in the 3rd quarter, but 2 in the 3rd quarter.
It's amazing timeouts that you take that early in the half, and extra points that you missed just sometimes come back to always.
Boy, they bite you, don't they?
Timeout North Lincoln.
Timeout North Lincoln this time. They had a couple. That should be their second, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, their second timeout.
They're booing the official.
I
didn't call timeout.
Hey, they called timeout, not me. I was just giving it to them. And the fans are giving it to him. So we've got 1:25 to go. 20-10 is the score. 4th and 13 is the situation.
Yeah, you could pretty much put, like I said, 2 safeties back in about the hashes.
I'd put them right at the 30-yard line.
Right. Just you can back up 1 or 2, but then just get everything in front and jump on it.
Because that's where they've got to get for the first down. They've got to get to the North Lincoln 30.
And now I've got Hickory 63, Crest 48, 6:05.
Good Lord. 63-48? And there's still 6 minutes to go. So the North Lincoln crowd is urging on the defense. You've got two safeties back at the 30-yard line where they need the first down. Two wide receivers each side. McLean's flushed forward, looks, and he threw past the line of scrimmage. They didn't call it, but he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball by a good yard and a half. But it falls incomplete, and they'll turn the ball over on downs with 1:18 to go. And they're out of timeout, so all North Lincoln's going to need to do is line up in the victory formation.
Actually, the ball is intended for number 20, Samir Carpenter.
I don't think any part of him was behind the 43-yard line when he released that. The official on the far side stuck his arm out like he was fine. It didn't look it from here, and we're almost on that yard line. So that will do it. Ashbrook cannot stop the clock, and North is in the victory formation. Sipe takes a snap, takes a knee. And it's just a matter of letting the final 70 seconds run out. So we've got 30 on the play clock. If we see that snap before 2, I'd be shocked.
Great comeback from Ashbrook, though. I mean,
They did a very
hard
game
second
effort. They controlled this second half. North, they're going to advance, and that's what you do this time of season. Play clock at 5. He takes a snap. It's under 40, and the play clock is bigger than the game clock, and that's going to do it. For the first time ever, North Lincoln is going to advance to the 4th round of the state playoffs. No team has ever done that. The question is, who will they play and where? Still 15 on the game clock. Teams are already lined up. North Lincoln is already all the way to the far sideline. So we will have football next week on KTC and WCSL Jerryville. And there's the final horn. Finally, North Lincoln will advance to the 4th round of the state playoffs with a 20-10 victory over Ashbrook.
Like I say, just
wow, what a difference
Ashbrook.
In the second half.
You can see there, you can see why they beat South Point. They were just up on the line.
Good
just
adjustments.
And adjusting and getting to the heads of the ball. They got heads of the ball in that second half.
Yes, they did.
Unbelievable.
We're going to figure out the stats here and give some awards. And we'll come up with the stadium post-game show. But again, the final score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, North Lincoln 20, Ashbrook 10. We'll be back to wrap up the broadcast after this.
The Dodge Black Friday sales event is underway at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln. Get in on big performance and receive $11,100 total bonus cash allowance on the new 2024 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. And if you're a Ford brand owner or leasee, you can get $2,000 bonus cash allowance on a new 2024 Dodge Durango. All during the Black Friday sales event at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln. It's time to gobble up the savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Hurry in now and save big during the red tag sale. All remaining 2024 models gotta go. You save thousands of dollars. Ask about special lease deals on the Chevy Equinox EV and the Chevy Blazer EV. You'll find great rates as low as 0%, and Costco members get an extra $1,000 discount. And check out the big inventory of Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com. Like them on Facebook too. Call Bean Brothers Landscaping in Lincoln and ask about their lawn care agreements for both residential and commercial, starting at $199 per month, including mowing, edging, string trimming, and blowing. Silver, gold, and platinum packages are available on a 12-month agreement, including 41 yearly visits, 30 weekly March through September, 11 off-season visits during October through February. And they'll even clean out your flower beds. Call Bean Brothers Landscaping at 704-718-4988, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Online at beanbrotherslandscaping.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
For your pest control for your home or business, who you gonna call? Bug Busters. For over 25 years, they've been serving North and South Carolina with the best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned and operated. From crawl space encapsulation to termites to wildlife to pest control to structural repair to waterproofing. They do it all. Call 704-732-2227. Online at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook, too. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
Polaris Deal Days are underway at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Now get up to $3,000 off select off-road Polaris vehicles. Built to go, priced to move. Also, it's the CF Moto All Cylinders Sales Event with financing as low as 0.99% or rebates up to $1,500. And get Honda bonus bucks up to $1,500 for accessories, protection plans, or for your down payment at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too. For over 60 years, Honda Motorcycles of Shelby has been serving this area, and they continue to do so today. Right now, you'll find a good inventory of dirt bikes, plus 150 and up to 450 models of on- and off-road bikes. See the new 2024 Honda Rebel, along with 4x4 ATVs and side-by-sides, including the Pioneer and the Talon, plus Gold Wings and Trikes. And don't forget about their parts and service department. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at HondaMotorcyclesofShelby.com. Tarzan says it's the biggest tree cutting special he's ever seen from J. Douglas Tree Service. Why, it's so big, it's driving cheetah bananas. Now, for a limited time from J. Douglas Tree Service, all current customers can take 10% off. But that's not all. New customers get 20% off. Trim it up, cut it down, and they also do stump grinding. And they've just recently added a 75-foot bucket truck. Call 704-689-9459. Again, 704-689-9459 for a free estimate. That's J. Douglas Tree Service.
Get more bang for your buck at James River Equipment Company in Shelby, the area's John Deere dealer. Now, when you purchase a John Deere compact tractor and loader, you'll get pallet forks for only $1. That's right, $1. Plus, get 0% financing for 60 months. But hurry, the offer ends soon at James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Highway 180 North in Shelby. Online at jamesriverequipment.com.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Explore the outdoors with a Can-Am from Power Max Motorsports at Iron Station. From open road to the trails, there's a Can-Am right for you. And now the new 2025 Can-Ams are in stock. And ask about promotional financing on the remaining 2024 Can-Am models. And see the street-legal, road-ready Can-Ams with heating and air conditioning. And be sure to check out the end-of-the-season deals on the remaining Toro mowers. That's Power Max Motorsports, 3636 East Highway 27 in Iron Station. Online at PowerMaxMotorsports.com. Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Back now at Pumpkin Center. The game has ended here. It is still going on in Hickory, and they had a half-hour head start. That game might get over by Sunday. At the rate they're going, we might get home in time before Clemson and South Carolina kick off at noon tomorrow. But anyway, final score, North Lincoln 20, Ashbrook 10. I'm sure Coach Basel is going to have plenty to say about this particular game, especially the second half. But
you might ask 2 questions next week, let alone
maybe. So what did you think of the second half? Well, that might be 20 minutes right there, and it ain't going to be pleasant, as they say. So, again, you're listening to the Stadium Postgame Show brought to you by Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Let's start now with a Parker Farm Service of Kings Mountain recap of the game. And for North Lincoln, they're going to like what they saw in the first half. As they came out.
39 seconds to go.
And getting update here, 39 seconds to go. Hickory ahead 63-48. So next week it'll be a rematch from back in October. It'll be North Lincoln traveling up to Hickory. That'll be one side of the bracket in 3A. Grimsley and Dudley and all
West
of them
Charlotte,
and West Charlotte's obviously going to advance. They are smoking Irwin right now, last we saw. Excuse me, very dry air here in the press box and everywhere else in the area. What was it? Last 56-0 West Charlotte last we saw. Good gracious. So, recap of the first half. North Lincoln got the opening kickoff, drove down forced a punt, an 8-yard punt. That didn't help either. And they got the ball at the Ashbrook 44. 3 plays, 21-yard touchdown run by Landon Agee. The extra point by Jake Dillingham was good, and 4 minutes into the ball game, it was 7-0 North Lincoln. After Landon Agee picked off a pass, it set up North Lincoln at their 40-yard line. They drove that down. 6 plays, 11-yard touchdown run by Shannon Wingate. They go for 2, as they seem to every time on their second touchdown of the game. See, there's a pattern there we've seen. Conversion failed. It was 13-0. And then they forced another punt. This time they went 10 plays, 64 yards down the field. An 8-yard touchdown run by Tim Folk. And an extra point made it 20-0. And there was still 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Little did we know that was the last time North Lincoln was going to score any points. The only time they came close in the second half, Jake Dillingham missed a 42-yard field goal, not by much. It was just wide to the right. And so halftime, the score was 20-0. In the second half, it was a tale of 2 halves. Ashbrook came out and looked like the better team, and they really bottled up North Lincoln. They held them to 42 yards offense in the second half, all on the ground. No pass completions for North tonight, although they've had some people open. They had 2 bombs that were open they just didn't hit on. Then, let's see, after a fumble by North Lincoln, Ashbrook got the ball at the North Lincoln 39. It looked like they were doing better offensively, but when we see the stats, we'll realize they really didn't do that much. They just got better field position. They got it at the North Lincoln 39, drove down to the 17. Garcia kicked a 34-yard field goal that made it 20-3. North Lincoln had the ball for maybe about a minute and a half, turned it back over to Ashbrook, and they drove down the field courtesy of a couple penalties that were not called They started at their own 44. There was a long 32-yard completion where the receiver pushed off. It was clearly offensive pass interference right in front of one of the referees, no call. And then on the 10-yard touchdown run by McLean, definitely a block in the back and some holding going on, but again, not called. So that PAT by Garcia made it 20-10. That would end up being the final score. Ashbrook threw another interception. This time was picked off way downfield by Jamani Ellington, and they traded possessions back and forth. Finally, a fourth down conversion did not work. A long pass by McLean fell incomplete. They were out of timeouts. North Lincoln was able to just run out the final 78 seconds of the game. And the final score is 20-10. And that is your Parker Farm Service recap of the game. Parker Farm Service located in Kings Mountain. So now let's take a look at some of the stats. And ain't pretty if you're Coach Basel. He's going to like the first half, 197 yards rushing. He's not going to like the second half, 19 carries, 42 yards.
That's unheard of.
Like you said, Ashbrook made all the defensive adjustments. They took away Wingate. They took away the outside. There was nothing that was working for North Lincoln in the second half. Nothing that was working. So they ended up with 239 yards offense, way below their average for the season and way below their rushing average for the season, which is in the high 300s. So they end up with that. They were 0 for 3 passing. Again, the 3 they tried, 2 of them wide open. They just didn't make the play. For Ashbrook, 31 carries for 70 yards. Again, 17 for 36 in the second half. That's no better than what they did in the first half. They just did a little better throwing the ball. 8 of 17, 71 yards. They got the big play on the touchdown on the offensive pass interference being ignored. And so they only ended up with 141 yards offense. Had a fumble and 3 interceptions. The 4 turnovers ended up really breaking their back as much as anything.
Yeah. Like I say, North Lincoln, again, had some pass breakups as well, especially in that last drive. But, I am a little surprised. I know they had better field position, but I would have thought, a few more yards at least on some of those.
But, again, they were getting the ball at the North Lincoln 39-yard line, their own 44. Let's see here. And then they got it on the North Lincoln 24. North Lincoln got it at the 24 after the turnover, but still, they really didn't drive it all that far when they did get their 2 scoring possessions.
Right.
And the rest of the time, they really didn't. They were bottled up pretty well. McLean was running for his life most of the night.
Absolutely.
Courtesy of the usual suspects, Ayers and Sturgill and Bassani and others. And they just get some great penetration. So that's the recap of the game, and now it's time for some post-game awards. We'll start off with the sub of the game, brought to you by Subway of Boger City.
Yeah, like I say, a game like tonight, usually for North Lincoln, we've seen subs come in late third quarter, all the fourth quarter. But Luke Jones, number 51, plays defensive tackle for them. He comes in, and I think he spells them pretty regularly. Mullins up front, or number 50. I'm all whacked out here.
Grant Mullen.
Yeah, I was right, Mullen. Yeah,
you were right.
Okay, I was right. Like, you think by now we'd know the numbers, which is better than we do. But anyway.
I have such short-term memory problems.
But Luke Jones has done a good job of coming in and spelling, trying to keep some of those defensive linemen fresh. He ended up with 3 tackles, including 1 tackle for loss. So Luke Jones from North Lincoln did a great job there as our sub of the game, brought to you by Subway of Boger City.
Next up is the offensive player of the game, brought to you by Rhodes and Beal Oil Company of Lincolnton.
Yeah, usually we get to hear it's pretty easy, but most of these stats are from the first half.
They are.
But Shannon Wingate, again, I think his touchdown made it, 30 for the year? Now
30 rushing touchdowns, yes.
So, that's definitely a milestone, but 18 carries, 94 yards. Again, most first half is, Ashbrook did a fantastic job in the second half. But Shannon Wingate is our offensive player of the game, brought to you by Rhodes and Beal Oil Company of Lincolnton.
So unofficially, that'll put
Wingate right at around 1,950 yards on the season, almost 2,000, and 30 touchdowns. So he is our offensive player of the game. Next up, defensive player of the game, brought to you by Western Steer Steakhouse in Newton. And I think you got a pretty good idea who that would be based on how he stepped up in the second half.
Yeah, like I say, it was a second. He was probably one of the ones, obviously, and everything that was going on with the offense. But the defense, now that we've seen the yardage that Ashbrook was only able to get, Ryan Bassani, I remember he maybe had 3 tackles in the first half, but all 3 tackles were like layout.
Just
form
nailed
tackle,
people.
and he forced a fumble on the one that I don't think they recovered, but did lay out the Ashbrook running back. But, Ryan Bassani, I had him for 10 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 tackle for loss, and that forced fumble. But he looks to be back healthy, 100% now for sure. I think we sort of saw it last week. But he needed to step up this week with what was going on in the second half, and came through in flying colors. But, again, a lot like North Lincoln's defense, we could pick probably another 1 or 2 other guys, and we sort of did here when we get to it in a second. But for now, defensive player of the game, brought to you by Western Steer Steakhouse of Newton, is North Lincoln's Ryan Bassani.
And it was a team effort because I'm looking through here, and I see 10 plays that went for losses for Ashbrook. 9 running, and then there was even a pass that was even. For a -3 late in the game. So they did a good job as a team defense. They really did. So kudos to the whole defense, but especially Ryan Bassani for the job he did that second half. He really stepped up when they needed some big plays.
Exactly.
So that brings us to our final award of the night, and that is the overall player of the game, brought to you by Abernathy Chevrolet of Lincolnton.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, he was impressive on both sides of the ball. In fact, all 3 phases of the game, because he returns kicks as well. But number 20, Landon Agee, offensively had 10 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Big chunk plays. Again, second half, Ashbrook did a better job of kind of containing him. But he had an interception on defense, including 3 tackles, 1 pass breakup, and he got hurt. Even on one play, had to come out for a little bit.
And if you think about it,
he needs an ice bath, or just walk outside and cool off a little bit.
Strip down to your shorts, and they'll take care of any swelling issues you might have. I mean, but after he got popped, he didn't. It was part Ashbrook, but he also didn't seem to run quite as well as he did in the first half. So he'll need some time off to recuperate. But he is our our overall player of the game. Excuse me.
Right, yeah, brought to you by Abernathy Chevrolet of Lincolnton. But again, both sides of the ball, and again, even on special teams, as he returned a couple kicks as well. So, yeah, he definitely deserves the overall player of the game, and a rub down and an ice bath and anything that he can do to get ready for next week's big game. The way it looks, as we said, against Hickory, the rematch
in Hickory. Yes, it'll be the 4th time they have met in the last 2 years. They had the regular season games, and last year a second-round playoff game. It was 48-28, if I remember correctly. But it was only like 35-28 in the 4th quarter. They got 2 scores late to put it away. This year, 1 in the regular season. The only loss so far for North Lincoln so far, 12-1. Hickory is the one, and they will meet next week, probably a 7 o'clock start, I imagine. That's what they started tonight in Hickory as well. But we'll know that for sure. So let's take a look at what we've got on the rest of the scoreboard, courtesy of Chip Carter and everybody else back in the home studios.
Yeah, I've got the official Hickory 63, Crest 48. So that's in the books.
Wow, I hate to see what the offensive totals are in that game. The defensive coaches probably have no hair left. They've probably pulled it all out if they had any.
You wonder what happened in the 4th quarter, because Hickory must have done at least some adjustment, either that or turned the ball over. But,
something.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
But unbelievable. That's 111 points. Is that right?
Yeah. There's high school basketball games that don't score that many. There really are. Well, let's take a look around the area. Mount Airy is ahead of Star Mount. I don't know if these are finals or not. We just have the scores. 31-23, Mount Airy trying to go for their 3rd straight state championship, and I believe it'll be their 2nd straight undefeated season. They have the longest winning streak in the state right now. They're into the 40s. I mean,
with Hickory probably right behind them, right?
Well, Hickory would be at 29 because they would have lost their last game in 22 and 16-0 last year, 13-0 this year. Boy, next week you're going to have teams with a combined record of 25-1. Clearly the class of this particular area.
And a rematch to boot.
And a rematch of a rematch of a rematch of a rematch. They've played 4 times now. Eastern Randolph losing to Corvion Community 27-6. Those two games the winner will play. Robbinsville and Murphy tied at 13 in what may be the Ice Bowl up there in Murphy. Mountain Heritage leads East Wilkes 38-7. Those 2 games the winners will play. Brevard finally able to get out the stake and take out East Rutherford. They're up 28-6. A great run by East Rutherford.
Absolutely.
They played a really good schedule too because they played North Lincoln way back in the third game of the season.
56-55.
56-55. that was just a ridiculous game. Salisbury leads Forest Hills. Monroe leads West Stokes. Shelby defeats Community School of Davidson, so it'll probably be Monroe and Shelby next week. Wow, that'll be a ball game. You're really getting some good ones this time of year. West Charlotte 56-0 over Irwin. Dudley leads Robinson 14-7. If I remember correctly, Robinson is undefeated. I don't think they've lost a game, but they might be getting their first one tonight. Again, our score, North Lincoln 20-10 over Ashbrook. Hickory over Crest 63-48. And a real defensive struggle. Grimsley leads Charlotte Catholic 35-7. Huff over Mallard Creek 28-0. East Forsyth has come back and taken the lead on Mooresville 28-24, and defending 4A champ Weddington just abusing Northern Guilford 55-0. They're only 1 point behind West Charlotte for the biggest dog pile of the week, I guess would be. So that will do it from here at Pumpkin Center. Again, the final score is North Lincoln 20, Ashbrook 10. The Knights advance to play at Hickory next Friday night. Probable game time is 7 o'clock because that's what it was for tonight up there. And we'll be bringing that to you. So for everyone here, Scott and myself and Jawan Wilson, who was doing highlights on the sidelines, and
upside
putting
down,
them.
apparently.
Well, some of them. I don't know. Maybe it's just your phone. Your phone. I just think flip the coin.
Yeah.
Is it right side up? Is it upside down? Is it sideways? I mean, it just
there was a sideways one in there too.
There was that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, thanks to Jawan for posting stuff from the sideline. Scott and I here in the booth. And back at the studio, Calvin, JP, Kevin, and thank for the scores. We're getting some from Chip Carter. You've been listening to Lincoln County High School football on KTC Broadcasting. You can find us on YouTube at KTC Broadcasting, ktcbroadcasting.com, lincolncounty.com. And then tonight also on WCSL FM 92.9 in Cherryville. So we thank all of you for joining us. Again, I'm Dave Potter. He's Scott Tudor. Final score, North Lincoln 20, Ashbrook 10. We thank you for joining us. Join us next week in Hickory. Thank you and good night.
Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website